Welcome, everybody, to Blues Clues.
Oh shit! Yo, I made this beat a minute ago. I was just starting out. I was just throwing shit together. I called it Saturday Morning because I sampled sounds from Saturday morning cartoons. It sounded like some real cartoon shit, like some real Hanna-Barbera shit. And yeah, man, let me switch that out. That shit'll drive me crazy. All right. All right, let's mellow down a little bit. Let's mellow down. It's time for the late night boxing talks. Nah, not that. That's the cam shit. I don't want to get hit with no copyright strike. Fuck that. There we go. Let's mellow it out. We're going to mellow it out. Ladies and germs, there's very little to report. I guess what I want to talk about the most tonight is how poor it reflects on Showtime that this is the state of their boxing programming, that they are failing to deliver legitimate fights, legitimate contests between legitimate boxers, and they are also failing in the novelty department. A lot of people feel that the real reason that the fight was called off was due to a lack of ticket sales, that, you know what, this event wasn't generating anything anyway. So, I mean, it's like, why do it? You know, why pay the money to have the fighters fight and all that different stuff? Why pay to do it at Madison Square Garden? You're better off just cutting your losses. We talked about that in my last video, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on that. More or less, what happens next? What are they going to do now? Because as far as retired MMA fighters go, it seems like the well is running dry for Jake. He was having a lot of success with that, fighting the Ben Askrens and the Tyrone Woodleys and those kinds of fighters, that they really weren't under contract with Dana White. So they were at liberty to participate in events with a social media influencer. But those kinds of fighters, they're kind of far and few now. Like, you know, he's done what he could with that. He's angling for a Conor McGregor fight. He said that Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor is a bigger event than if Mayweather were involved. I do feel so inclined to agree, because we saw, you know, what Mayweather, Logan Paul looked like. Nobody wants to see that again. So, you know, I do think that Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul as a professional boxing match could actually do good business. The question is Conor actually at liberty to accept such a proposal? Because it's my understanding that he hasn't retired from the UFC. It's my understanding that he's still under contract. So, you know, I don't really know what they're going to do with that guy, and I don't know how it's going to end. It could end with him just washing his hands of it altogether, because there's only so much money to make. Off of his name alone, there only seems to be but so much money to make. Hey, what's goody, bro? Hey, brother, Hasim Rahman Jr. at fault or no? I'm going to tell you the truth. When you sign a contract, you sign a contract. If I sign a contract that says I'm going to fight at 200 pounds, that's what that means. And it don't mean nothing more than that. So it's nuanced. It's not cut and dry because he didn't fail to make the weight. You understand? It's not like it's the day before the fight and they had the weigh-in and he failed to make 200 pounds. It's not that simple, because the New York State Athletic Commission is the ones that said, well, wait a minute. It's not enough time for you to lose the remaining weight that you have and do it healthy. So we gonna set the limit at 205. It's not as simple as saying that, yeah, he blew the weight and they couldn't do the fight, because it wasn't the day before the fight. Now, if it was the day before the fight and he up there at 215, then you could say, yeah, you blew the weight. But it's a little bit more complex than that, because in the contract or whatever the fuck going on, they said that they was getting periodic weigh-ins. And the New York State Athletic Commission, which is one of the more strict commissions, they was weighing Rahman, and they was like, yo, this dude still got a lot of weight, and doing 200 from where he at now, that's not going to work. So up the limit to 205. You know, they got a he said, she said kind of thing going on. Jake is blaming Hasim. Hasim is blaming Jake. My opinion, it was Jake and Showtime that pulled the plug. That's my opinion. It's not that Hasim pulled out the fight. It's that they pulled the plug on it. Like, look, we ain't selling no tickets. Don't nobody know no Hasim Rahman Jr., right? And he not even on weight anyway. Let's just call it off. Because it would be cheaper at this point to call it off than to actually do it. If we actually do it, we're going to end up losing more money. You know what I mean? So my honest opinion is that Jake pulled the plug. Jake and Showtime pulled the plug. It ain't that Hasim said, yeah, I'm not fighting. It ain't that. It ain't that he said, yeah, I'm not fighting and we not doing this. It's that they saw that he ain't on weight. They saw the tickets is not moving and they was like, yo, you know what? Killer shit. Killer shit. That's what I think it is. If you want my opinion, that's what I think it is. They seen that shit. They like, man, fuck this shit. Let's just call it off. Don't nobody know him anyway. More people know Tommy Fury. And he ain't even known like that. We not gonna get nothing out of doing this fight. That's what I feel it really was. That they looked at the whole situation like we ain't gonna get nothing out of this. What we gonna get out of this? You know what I mean? I was Goody Candace, was Goody Jack, was Goody Grim, Mr. D-Lo, country in the building, don't ask me in the building. And yeah, that's what I really think it was, to be real with you. That's what I really think it was. I think Jake pulled the plug because Hasim is not saying that I pulled out the fight, and Hasim don't have the power to pull the plug. He don't have that power. If somebody killed this fight, it was Jake. However, it was unprofessional. It's like it's blame on both sides. It's blame because Hasim did admit I can't make 200. Aight, fam, but you signed a contract to make 200 pounds though. You did do that. And under normal circumstances, just contracts, that's your ass. Steve Munoz says, de lo mío, que lo que es? Saludo de California. Give me the Regis to stop Zepeda. Yep, that's how I have it. Shout out to the WBC for mandating this fight. I do agree with that. My preliminary thoughts on Regis Prograis versus Jose Zepeda. I am going with Regis to win the fight. I do think he wins that fight. They're both southpaws. They both hit hard, but I like Regis's boxing a little better. I'll say that Regis, compared to Jose, has been in less wars. He's a little bit more well-preserved. You know what I mean? So I do like Regis to win that fight. I'm going to open up the chat to the panel. And let's talk about Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, who has all this energy for a Danny Garcia rematch. Let's talk about how he'll respond to Danny saying that he want a rematch, but he won't respond to Boots saying that he want that fight. And boxing is not a big, it's not a big sport. It's like boxing is a lot like Harlem. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody. So if Jaron Boots Ennis is saying your name, it's a good chance that you know he's saying your name. And you just acting like you don't hear him. You acting like you don't know. Shut up! Anyway, yeah. So Jaron Boots Ennis, he wants a Thurman fight, and I'm gonna say this: Alexis, I was goody. Alexis often brings this up: the quality of the product, and how if you watch a Top Rank show, there is a noticeable difference in a Top Rank show or a Top Rank fighter and what you getting from the PBC. And I feel like the Thurman situation kind of characterizes that at this point, we all expect the shit that he's doing. We don't expect you to fight Boots, bro. We know what you are. We don't expect you to fight Boots. We don't expect you to fight Stanionis. We expect you to do the bullshit you doing. Talk about it, Ivo. When you see that Thurman immediately responds to a Danny Garcia fight that don't nobody want to see again, but he ain't got no time for Boots, what does that make you feel?
First off, how's it going, Jules? Good to see you. When we last things off on a depressing note, but I got a hopeful tone. I found a house. I signed a contract, so I guess they're hoping.
Good shit, bro.
Right.
Congrats, brother.
Thank you for putting out that positivity, my Capricorn brother. But on the topic of boxing, when it comes to Keith Thurman's career, he's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe him currently. Like when we know the fight's not gonna happen. I know recently he actually called out Jake Paul, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why?
And you know what? And you know what? You don't see the Shakur, the Devin. Like, it's fighters out there that they not in the circus right now. They really on they fighting shit, being fighters.
Well, that's because real talk. I don't. Oh, sorry for cutting you off.
No. Go ahead.
I don't. He's at the end of his career. Okay, he's pretty much just going down. So it's like he's kind of like you know, when someone's falling down, they try to grasp at whatever is possible just for like a couple of seconds of like stability. That's pretty much him. He's just looking for a payday of some sort. Yeah, exactly. It's like he's like, okay, can I get $15, please? Just $15 here. $20. No, 20. Hey, I'll fight the Jake Pauls of the world for 25.
He wants to try to look halfway good and get money at the same time while he's going out. That's all he's trying to do. It's the payday thing, and he doesn't want to get embarrassed on the way out, because if he faces Boots or any of them other fools, they're gonna embarrass him.
They're gonna mess him up. And this is the weird thing about Keith, you know, because I'm not into knee-jerk reactions, and I don't like snap judgments. He is a fighter that only has one recorded loss, but he feels like a gatekeeper, doesn't he? Doesn't it feel like he's a gatekeeper?
Gatekeepers are active. He's not even active.
That's true.
It's because he was inactive. That's why he became a gatekeeper.
Sean Porter was a gatekeeper to an extent. But he was active, and he was, in my opinion, somewhat of a gatekeeper towards the end of his career.
He was.
Keith Thurman is not a gatekeeper. Keith Thurman is, I don't like to say these words, but he's a has-been.
He's a towel boy. He's the guy in the bathroom that you
go freak right now.
Let me tell you what, gatekeepers have a bad rap, and they shouldn't have that. A good gatekeeper is the salt of the earth, is beneficial to the sport. That's the guy that's going to give you a good fight every time you send him out there, win or lose, against dangerous guys like my man Derek Chisora. You could call him a gatekeeper, but you got to compete on a certain level to beat that man. The Kovnowski that I saw this past weekend, he don't get past Derek. I don't think Ali Demirezin gets past Derek, to be real with you. I think both of them guys, they below Derek. Both of them. You know what I mean? Now, OS says, wasn't Thurman respected as a boxer at one point? Yes, he was. It was a time when I had a high opinion of Keith Thurman's boxing, but that was a very long time ago. I believe circa 2016, 2017. Jay, when you see that Keith, you know, he ain't got no time to address Jaron Boots Ennis. He's going to keep pretending that he doesn't exist. But he got time to go, you know, to call in a Fight Hype and do a FaceTime with Fight Hype to talk about some Danny Garcia. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's kind of sad at this point, because Keith was he was you know, a credible force to be reckoned with back in his heyday. I'd say, like, you know, around the time, you know, 2015, 16, 17, around that time. The layoffs didn't help him much. The injuries didn't help him much. And now he's just, I really think, honestly, deep down, he knows that his days are numbered and his time is running out.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets in there with Boots Ennis, we're going to find out that his time has run out. Because, you know, it's just that he knows. I mean, deep down, because we were talking about this last night, he knows he's a gatekeeper. He knows. He knows. And he rather want a pointless rematch with Danny than take on a hungry young lion like a Jaron Boots Ennis.
Well, yeah, because he actually, in his mind, he could beat Danny. He ain't beating Boots.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in unfamiliar territory, so he's willing to do that. I'm going to go to Michael. Michael, you know, Steve Kim released a tweet, and the tweet says that Jaron Boots Ennis might only fight once this year, and that was the Castillo-Clayton fight that he already had. And you see that Thurman, you know, he don't want to play his position, because, you know, really what his position should be is, you're a former champion. You only have one loss. You've never been stopped. Now, normally how it go, you the guy that end up fighting the Jaron Boots Ennis's and a Montestanionis's of the world. But you don't want to do that. So what happens to Jaron Ennis? What happens to Keith Thurman?
What happens to Jaron Ennis right now?
Yeah.
I don't know who he could fight, but he put on his Instagram that he has a fight date coming soon. Now, when it comes to Keith, I don't think he even cares anymore. He really does not care. He's old. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get fucking knocked out and annihilated by Jan. So he'll probably take that Garcia rematch.
Yeah. Either that or things collapse between Terrence and Errol, and then he does, he ends up fighting Spence, because in all likelihood, if the negotiations don't work out, he didn't end up number one WBC by accident. Somebody did that, and they did that for a reason. So I'm like, if Bud don't fight Errol, they'll probably put Keith in there and do that as a pay-per-view. If they do fight, then maybe we see Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia at 154 for no belt and no point. Villain, what is your level of excitement for Thurman versus Garcia 2?
I'm about as excited to see that as I was to see Garcia this last Saturday fight. So honestly, I think Thurman, the reason why he talks a lot, does a lot, which you'll see a lot of other PBC fighters do, is they don't, like you said before, and the other panelists said before, there's just not enough dates for them to do anything and stay active. So they have to kind of string along the fans. So I think at any point in time, the PBC realizes that the fan base, their hardcore fan base, will defend any shitty card they put together. So, I mean, clearly as a competent boxing fan and a competent human being, I'm bored to death. But I can understand why they can keep doing it, because they're not being called or held accountable for putting these cards together.
By the way, Jules, if Jules could ask a quick question, just right quick. Who even wins the rematch between Keith and Danny? Like,
bro, I know honestly, because it's a little like you know what this shit is. Look, they let the guy go out there and fight to a decision with Mario Barrios, and that tells you where he's at right then and there. If you can't come back and stop that guy,
or drop him,
shit, bro. Or
didn't Mario come off a loss?
Yeah, he was coming off the knockout loss to Javante.
Didn't drop him either. Didn't drop him either. Whoa.
Yeah, y'all got to sort out your mics, man. So if you have been, Keith Thurman has an estimated 4 years of inactivity in the last 5 years. That's how it kind of breaks down. In the last 5 or 6 years, 4 of those years he was inactive, because after he beat Danny in 2017, he didn't come back till 2019. Then after 2019, he didn't come back until 2022. So you have been reduced or you denigrated to the point where you can't knock out a Mario Barrios, and they can say, oh, to lay off this, and bro, he just got knocked out by a littler dude than Keith, and Keith couldn't put him away. So what does that tell you about Keith?
And Keith got hurt in that fight to the body. He took out his mouth guard and everything. Remember that?
I'd rather watch paint dry than to see freaking Keith rematch Danny.
But
it's ridiculous,
And it's going to be pay-per-view too.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing is, if Showtime actually decides to throw money at that fight, put money in that situation, that is also a testament to how incompetent they are. Like, yo, who do you think wants to see this shit, yo?
They basically drilling holes in the ship,
Really? Yeah, like
on their way to sinking.
Hey Jules, you asked the question who would buy that fight? The same people that bought the Mario Barrios versus Thurman fight.
Exactly.
The same people that bought the fight last Saturday.
And bear in mind that this is a guy, Stefan Espinoza, Showtime executive, who regularly likes to take jabs at the DAZN platform, regularly likes to take jabs at Eddie Hearn. And I'm like, yo, dog, what cards are you putting together that you so fucking self-satisfied? You can't even get a circus fight over the line.
It's like an ant trying to stare up at a freaking magnifying glass, man. It's idiotic.
Yeah, I mean, it's the level of mediocrity. In other words, I don't think people have processed how ridiculous this is. You haven't gotten Crawford versus Spence done yet, right? You couldn't get a circus fight done either. And what, you're going to pour money into Garcia versus Thurman? Who wants to see that?
Could you imagine Thurman getting ripped to the body by Boots?
I mean, I would love to see that. Look,
He gets
honestly,
destroyed. quick.
I probably say this every other episode, but there's no point in Showtime being in the Jaron Ennis business if they're not going to feed him Keith Thurman and they're not going to feed him Danny Garcia, because then you're just wasting his time. He'd be better off on another platform, because at least on another platform he'd be more active.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna say-
Can I propose
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
a question for the chat?
But
So think about it this way: was Thurman ever that good?
no.
Think
No.
about it this way:
No, he
Danny
was not.
Garcia lost to every single guy who was better than him at welterweight, and honestly, he's about to get knocked out by Charlo. Anybody at 154 that has a pulse, he'll get outboxed by Harrison. Now let's think about it this way: Sean Porter, who has he beaten at welterweight? None of the elites. He got knocked out by Bud. He got beat by Spence. So, like, is this guy even that good? And then he, on top of all of that, gets his ass beat by a 40-year-old Pacquiao who, in all regards, was supposed to lose that fight. And this guy ends up getting dropped in the
I
first round.
realized it after the Thurman fight, Victor. I mean, after the Pacquiao fight, that I'm like, it made me wonder, was Keith Thurman actually ever that good? Because his biggest win was Danny Garcia. But by the time that he fought Danny Garcia, the word was out on Danny Garcia that, bro, you lost that Mauricio Herrera fight. You fucking lost that shit. A lot of people think you lost to Peterson. Thurman had all this energy for Danny as soon as he moved up in weight, but where was that energy for Kell Brook, who was already a champion for 3 years? Why wasn't you banging on his door? You know what I mean? And that's when I started to realize that, like, yo, was Thurman actually ever any good?
He was entertaining at one point. Does that count?
I mean, the Porter fight was
The Porter
entertaining.
fight was so good.
The Porter fight was entertaining. The Luis Collazo fight was entertaining. The Diego Chavez fight, he was entertaining. But who mic is that,
Someone's
When's
in
the last
car.
time Keith stopped someone?
bruh? He don't
That's like
call
ancient
him.
history, man.
He don't call himself one time no more, bro. It's almost sad to think about, because in 2016 his stock was up, and in 2016 it's almost like fighting Danny hurt his stock, because it was all downhill after the Danny Garcia fight.
It was, and he took his layoff. Yeah.
And the fight did not live up to the expectations, because I remember I had high expectations for that fight. And when I watched this shit, I'm like, yo, I don't want to be the one that says it, but this shit is boring. Like, it was an eventful first round when Keith got on him and he was swinging and all of that, and it looked like he kind of like hit Danny with some shit. But after that first round, it was like, bro, this shit is
the Robert Guerrero fight was kind of fun. I vaguely remember that fight.
Garcia fight, though. I think that was in 2014.
Oh, that was yeah. Sorry, shit. We were talking after Garcia.
Steve Munoz says, I love Custer, but he was calling Porter a first ballot. Yeah, I mean, and look, I like Sean Porter, but Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, they're not Hall of Famers, bro.
No.
I don't know who they trying to beat on the head. Like, yo, what about their career is Hall of Fame worthy?
He beat Lucas Matisse. That was it.
Bro. And that shit was like damn near 10 years ago, bro. People,
that shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. It was 9 years ago. That was on the Floyd Canelo undercard. I remember that. I thought Lucas was going to take Danny's head off, bro.
Everybody did. He was the favorite.
But to Danny's credit, he did box very well. Once that left hook closed that dude's eye, it was game over. I said, oh, shit, do you believe this? Danny's outboxing him. Because I ain't gonna hold you, Danny was outboxing him. So, but, like, you know, that's only one win. And when he went up to 47, he just became, he became what he became.
I'm going to say that, he didn't have a bad career. You know, if we look at Danny's career objectively, 2 division champion, right? That's not bad. He had some big wins. He beat the odds a couple of times. He became a 2 division champion. That's more than some fighters can say. So I wouldn't say that he had a bad career.
Because let's keep it a buck. He was not supposed to be Amir Khan at all.
He wasn't. But that's why we could say that he didn't have a bad career because, well, you made good money. and you were 2-division champion. It's not a bad career, but it ain't no Hall of Fame career neither. Like, bro, what the fuck did you do to be Hall of Fame worthy?
No,
What?
I would say, Julius, the problem isn't, I wouldn't even say the problem is the careers. It's not the highlights that count. It's how you ended, man. And a lot of these people, they're ending, like the people that I remember when I was a kid growing up fighting, like they're ending them on very piss poor notes, man.
That's
like
true.
The most exciting fight from my childhood, funny enough, was the Amir Khan versus Kell Brook fight, because that was a fight that had years upon years of buildup. Like this shit, Keith, man, bro, no disrespect, just retire, please. Don't embarrass yourself.
I honestly
man.
think he should, bro. Being real with you, I honestly think he should, because I'm like, I don't know. Look, you're not trying to win a title at 54. So let's be honest. You don't want to fight the Brian Castaños and Tim Tszyu. You know, like if Jermell Charlo, let's say he beats Tim Tszyu, which I think he can, and he moves up after that, bro, you don't want to stick around and pick up a belt because they're gonna be all over you, and you can't beat.
You want to fight Sebastian Fondoro? You want to fight a guy who's like 6'6"?
Could you imagine that shit?
Oh my God, Keith would get eaten.
Come on,
bro. Keith
Him
would get
and
on the
Danny.
shirt.
Him and Danny, that's the wild part. It's like, yo, neither one of y'all two belong up here. Y'all trying to get Saddam Ali up here. That's what happened. Remember when Saddam Ali won a WBO when he beat Cotto?
And what happened? And what happened when he fought Jaime Munguia? Munguia almost killed him.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, Munguia bounced him off the canvas, fam, like a fucking football.
It was a good game of ping pong, though.
This is what I was going to say though about Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, unfortunately, played the let's wait for Floyd Mayweather games, and
Yes.
Floyd wasn't going to just give him that fight at all, even though he was very deserving of it. Because let's keep it a buck. I think Keith Thurman.
No, he wasn't. I hate that narrative because remember what was popping at the time. Chino won a WBA from Broner, fam. From Baby Floyd, and Broner won the shit from Malignaggi. Those was the somebodies at the time. All right.
I feel you, but I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Around that time, if you would have told me, yo, bet $200 on Keith Thurman versus Marcos Maidana, I would have been confident in Keith Thurman knocking Marcos Maidana out. With Robert Garcia or without Robert Garcia. Let's stop.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of people got an overinflated sense of who this fighter. They thought he was something, and it didn't end that way, bro. Look, I'm not saying like. Let me put it this way. All right, Keith got the WBA, but you didn't win it from nobody, right? And I'm evaluating your skills. In other words, I'm not trying to say nothing bad. I'm just evaluating your skills. That you didn't win that WBA from nobody. Now your best win is Danny Garcia. What the fuck did he do at welterweight at the time? Nothing. He didn't do shit.
I feel you, but understand this. Marcos Maidana at that time, comparative to Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman was viewed a lot more dangerous than Marcos Maidana. And let's really keep it a buck. If it wasn't for the Adrian Broner fight, who Maidana beat at 47? Really?
Hold up. Let me say this. If we gonna play that game, right?
I'm gonna look up his resume right now.
Maidana gave Floyd a long fucking night, bro. We gonna skip over that?
That's beautiful, bro. But
I'm just saying. Look, the dude beat AB, right? He beat AB. He won a WBA. He goes in there with Floyd, and he give Floyd a hard ass fight. Now, some people, I'm not one of them, but they were out there. They thought that Maidana did enough to
I'll get it later. I'm on.
All right. So with that, what was Thurman's claim to fame at the time, bro? Like, what did you do, bro? Diego Chavez? What? Soto Caras? What he do?
Wasn't it the Porter fight?
Porter was after. Porter was 2016.
When it comes down to it, Keith ain't got nobody to fight that anybody's interested in seeing, or that's really going to be a challenge or a good fight. So, like,
can I see this country? This is Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is one fight away from being back in the position that he was in, but he doesn't want that fight. And no, it's not no motherfucking Danny Garcia fight. The fight that could get the fans back in his corner. He knows what fight it is. It's the Jaron Ennis fight.
You know what? That's because y'all know what? Because they could actually build that as another passing of the torch fight.
And just look. Oh, you go ahead.
No. Go ahead, boss man. I've said my piece. Go ahead.
And just look at his Instagram comments. Everyone's saying fight Boots, and he just ignores it. He sees it. He doesn't care.
Exactly.
But he's still gonna call out Danny Garcia.
The moves that I'm describing, right? They already happened on the Top Rank side of things. They put Chung in there with an up and comer, not unbeaten per se, but they put him in there with an up and comer in Josue Vargas, and you see what happened. He knocked his ass out, easy peasy. Now he in line for a title. Now he about to be in a good fight, and that's how it happens. That if you want to get back for real, you can't do it with no scrub ass fight that don't nobody give a shit about. And nobody gonna be excited off that shit.
It was Jules, fellas. You know what the crazy that like Zepeda is around the same age as Keith.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how much older? Younger, yeah.
Zepeda ain't no bitch.
That's the other thing.
I may be off base for. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you this: if Keith does acknowledge Boots, he's going to ask for something crazy like Bud money, like $10 million or something.
Yeah, but that's the point. That it's like, yo, that's the fight by all rights, right? Because your marquee value is not, your stock is not up for you to be acting like that. You see what I mean? That these guys always act like they have all this name value, or like people really get really fucking excited when they fight. No, they don't. It's not 2016, fam. People don't get excited when they hear about you. Motherfuckers' eyes roll into the back of their head like, not this motherfucker. Not him again.
It's like the only reason he got what he got for Pacquiao was because of Pacquiao alone.
Basically.
Oh, his
hairline. He's gonna fight Lara at 54.
when you talk about, I know you guys mentioned, I know you mentioned Boots, but here's the thing: when you talk about people like Boots, Stanionis, Yanni Beck, even Hrgovic to an extent, people don't want to fight them because we all know they're threats, they're credible threats. They don't have that marquee value. They want paydays. These people that are leaving, they're like, for example, we'll talk. Keith, like we all agree to an extent, Keith is like 1 to 2 fights away from leaving, like retiring. That's it.
Yeah.
So all he's doing right now is holding up the goddamn division to an extent. Because why is he number 1 in the WBC ranking?
Exactly. It should be Virgil. It should be Virgil. It should be Virgil, or it should be Boots, and he don't want to fight neither of them. He don't want to fight neither of them.
Because Virgil Ortiz would lay him out like a fucking rug, man.
I'd pick Stanionis. I'd even pick Butayev to lay him out. Even Butayev, because he throw a lot of punches.
Stanionis is young and has no defense right now, but he even as he is right now, he would decimate Keith Thurman in my opinion, man.
Stanionis got defense. He showed that in the Butayev fight, because a lot of that shit, it didn't get through. He caught it on the arms.
Did you see his face after the Butayev fight? That defense,
Butayev, he a dirty motherfucker though. He a dirty motherfucker. Tyrese says PBC is a rest haven for y'all know the rest. I mean, I look at it like this. I remember a time where if you had a prospect or if you had an unbeaten up-and-comer that people were buzzing about, the veteran fighter would actually pursue him because he knew on the other side of that fight is the rest of my career. I remember a time like in the 90s when, like, if you had a up-and-comer, somebody who's making a little bit of noise, the veteran fighter or the former champion, they wouldn't shy away from that fight. They want that fight because that closes the circuit that, oh, if they excited about you, but they not really excited about me, I gotta fight you because they not going to be excited about me doing this old bullshit. And it's backwards now. It's like, yo, Thurman, you need to be fighting them guys that still got O's. You need to take their O to show them that, yeah, I'm still that dude. Like, just because I lost to Manny don't mean I'm a bitch, but we know that's not the energy.
Okay, but let's get this clear. I think what we are talking about is not about the boxing problem, it's a PBC problem.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Because I don't see that problem really in other promotional companies.
I agree with that. I mean, it's not happening at Matchroom. You know, guys get upset all the time at Matchroom. For better or worse, unexpected things happen. At Top Rank, it's business as usual. At Golden Boy, it is kind of happening. Or something along those lines. I mean, they're going to make they're trying to make a Jaime Munguia versus John Ryder fight. That's actually a fun little fight. But you still feel like, yo, Jaime, you should be fighting for a belt, bro. Like
by now. I mean, where's he
by now? You got over
like
40 fights.
He should move up in weight, bro. He's gonna die.
Yeah, bro. There is a
I'm being
difference.
dead ass, bro.
There is a difference between what Golden Boy does and PBC does, because Golden Boy for me is clear. They are trying to preserve those guys for a bigger payday, but they don't really have a guy like he has to. He had a setback in his career because Jaime Munguia is undefeated, Ryan Garcia is undefeated, so those guys have been preserved till the right time. But these guys, we're talking about Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, they already had those moments where they lose.
Yeah.
So this is the time when in any other promotional company, maybe after 1, 2 fights, you have a hard fight against someone we promise, and you see if you had it on or no.
They don't want to put them in a sink or swim situation, and that's what I see. And they're overdue for a situation like that. And instead
How
of
former champions not wanting to be in sink or swim is crazy to me. You already went through the sink or swim coming up, and you already know how those fights are. So at the end of the day, I understand. You guys don't want to be treated like cannon fodder, but hey, you're in the way, my nigga. Either
the
fight
other shit
me
is,
or
yeah,
leave.
the other shit is you only cannon fodder because that's what you believe you are. Jose Zepeda didn't think he was cannon fodder for Josue Vargas. You feel me? Like he didn't think that. Even Steve Rolls put on a
Josue Vargas ain't Javon Ennis, dog.
that shit don't matter. That's that after the fact type shit. Fam, we don't know what Jaron Ennis is right now. Let's stop acting like he did something. We don't know, right? He looked like he the goods. He's supposed to be the one that tell us if he the goods or not. And he just looks so terrified, like you don't even address the shit. You got a whole fucking shit with fucking Marcos Villegas on Fight Hype talking about some Danny Garcia like we ain't seen it. We seen that, my guy. We don't want to see that again. Who the fuck in the street is asking for that shit?
Can I ask you a question, Jules?
I
mean, not a question, more like a statement. Here's the thing about Keith. Another thing, you see, everyone to an extent tries to follow the Money Mayweather path, but here's the thing: he doesn't even have an O anymore. You don't got to defend yourself no more. You already lost.
That's
Well,
facts.
first of all,
So get to it, man.
None of these PPC guys get paid. So,
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: you can make a case like, oh, Gervonta doesn't want to fight because he doesn't want to lose the O. Same with a lot of young people, but he already lost. Who gives a shit? You don't have an O on your record, so like that doesn't matter at this point.
I think he feels. Who said it? Who said it? I think it was Mike that said it. They're like, yo, he know that he's probably one fight away from retirement because he lost 4 years. Remember that 4 years he wasn't doing shit, bro. Between 2017 and 2019, he wasn't really doing shit, and then from 2019 till this year, once again, he wasn't doing shit. So how many fights is that in 4 years? That's roughly 4 fights, right? We could say like 4 fights. No, not even 4 fights. That's
two.
Like
Two.
No. If we say a normal schedule of 2 fights a year, that's 8 fights.
That's 8. Yeah, that's 8. Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you lost that much time and that many years worth of fights that, like, yeah, you kind of out the door already. Because ain't he in his mid-30s?
He's turning 34 this year.
And he got bone spurs.
Yeah. And here's the thing: his marquee value isn't what it was prior to those 4 years. So like, you can't even make an argument that just some A-side Floyd Mayweather, because no one, like, real talk, I didn't even know he was fighting until you brought it up on your channel, dude. I didn't even know he was coming back to fight fucking Barrios until you brought it up, and I was like, wait a minute, he's still alive?
Shit. Let me read the super chat. Dwayne says, yo, y'all think PBC is bad for the sport? They basically took the top-ranked playbook of in-house fights, but I feel they took it further. Nah, because the top-ranked playbook, right? Let's look at what Top Rank does, right? Really, every promotional outfit, they all do in-house fights. You understand? But there's no coddling at Top Rank. If Keith was at Top Rank, Bob would have said, yo, you either gonna fight this guy or we gonna cut you. We gonna cut you. What the fuck we gonna use you for, my guy? If you don't
look at Joseph Adorno.
Exactly.
He got cut for less. Cut for less, and that guy's actually pretty talented.
Rodriguez lost 1 fight and they cut him. Andy Ruiz lost 1 fight and they cut him, you wouldn't still be there taking up space doing interviews and talking shit. Not at Top Rank. So we can't say that, oh yeah, they took the Top Rank playbook of in-house fights, because Top Rank put they guys in sink or swim situations that
some of the B sides at Top Rank would actually be A sides on PBC.
Yeah. Like shit, I lost my train of thought. Like in other words, you got to earn your spot at Top Rank. Whether you lost a fight or not, whether you were unbeaten up and coming or not, you got to earn your spot. And the problem that those guys on the PBC side got is they don't want to earn a spot. You supposed to be fighting Jaron Boots Ennis or Stanionis because you were former WBA champion. Stanionis on the WBA route, right? The fight to make to me is Thurman versus one of them. I know Thurman versus Garcia.
But
Who the fuck want to see that?
But here's the thing, Jules. He can do. But here's the thing. Now he's in such a position he doesn't have to do shit. And heaven forbid the Crawford v. Spence fight doesn't happen. He gets a payday for doing nothing.
But because they reward him for nothing.
Exactly. And
They rewarded
regardless,
him for nothing.
regardless of who wins, like either Spence or Crawford, they will both lay him out like a wet blanket, dude.
Of course, but it's look. In other words, he shouldn't be number one. Who? Somebody made that happen. It don't happen by itself. Somebody paid the WBC for that to happen, because how could you be number one at 147 for fighting a dude at 140 that just got knocked out? How,
it wasn't ranked. It wasn't even ranked at all.
Wasn't even ranked.
Virgil Ortiz is probably pissed off like no day tomorrow, man. He
Bro, oh my God,
grinded his
Virgil
ass
Ortiz
up
was
there,
murdered.
and
That
only
he
to get moved aside for
Only to get fucked over like
Barrios.
that. Only to get fucked over.
Virgil and Jared, and I hate to say it, but it's like, fam, nothing really changed in the last 3 years. They both fucked from 147 to 154. Who control all of that? Who got all them belts?
PBC.
The PBC.
Yeah.
They ain't shit.
But if it wasn't for Virgil having that rhabdomyolysis, he'd probably
even
be
with
in a better position.
My God, even with that, what real like? Let's say he would have had that fight. Does that really bring him closer to one of Errol's belts?
Not really.
Nope.
My God, Errol has not satisfied a mandatory for the IBF in 4 years.
4 years. That shit is nasty, bro.
Ridiculous.
I want to bring it up.
Ain't shit. No, like I look at that shit between Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, and I'm like, yo, I really don't know what the fuck they team gonna do, because it's like ain't no belts, and they gonna make it hard for you. They're gonna make it hard for you at 47. They're gonna make it hard for you at 54. I don't know how or when either one of them two guys is gonna get a belt, unless Errol move up.
They've unintentionally become blacklisted for being good fighters, which I think is pretty stupid and funny.
Bro, that's literally what it is. If they suck, they would have got a fight by now.
It's
Exactly.
I want to say this.
to the sport, man.
There is something to came to mind a few years ago. Look, I really think it is important to, like Julius said, we are fans of the sport and we want to see fights. A few years ago, there was a guy, I don't want to say his name, I just want to say he was a boxing trainer. He had a channel.
Mhm.
And he said about he made an analysis of Brandon Rios versus Danny Garcia.
Mhm.
And he said it was a good fight for Danny Garcia because it was good for Danny Garcia's development. Look, and I saw the video, I said, development?
Bro, who was it? Who was it?
Was Barry Robinson.
Ahi TV.
I was like, okay, you really know more.
So
more
Coach
about
Barry
the sport
Robinson said that?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think you have a channel on YouTube. It has been open and closing channels back and forth. But I was like, okay, you know about the sport, but a former unified champion needs development. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, you really are talking about, like, if you're a trainer, you hope you have someone like Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is talented. I think he's a good boxer. So if I was you, I would think, okay, I would like to my fighter have these fights to preserve himself and give him experience. But as a fan, I don't care about that. I want to see the fights that are possible there. I want to see
You know what it is, Leo? There's too many biases in boxing. Like it's like the boxers that don't like Jake Paul, right? What they don't like about Jake Paul is he came into it with fans, so he getting money already. But he didn't get his fans from boxing. He got them from other shit. He not actually doing nothing wrong being real with you. And I don't say that because I like him or some shit. Like, nah, it ain't none of that. That's facts. But it's still a lot of boxers that they resent him for that. Like, I seen Ishai Smith and Jamel Harriman, and they was going back and forth with Jay Leon Love earlier today, right? And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, Hasim signed the contract, fam. Whatever's whatever. You did sign a contract saying you could make $200. You did do that. You can't turn around after the fact, nah, I can't do it. That's on you, my guy. That's not on Jake. That's on you. If they want to pull a plug on it, they got a reason because you gave them one.
I think I saw the video that she posted. Didn't she say it was like a slap in the face for the amount he proposed?
I did a video on it earlier today. I'm like, yo, how you gonna say it's a slap in the face after you sign the contract? If it's a slap in the face, then you just let yourself get slapped in the face because you signed the shit.
Maybe it was more like a light tap to the face.
Nah, and listen, when Jarrell Miller tested positive for 3 performance-enhancing drugs, she was the one that was making excuses for him.
Who's this now?
Serafina.
Oh shit.
Who is it? Who's Sarah?
Who knows Serafina?
Who is that?
I basically, she handled the careers of certain fighters, right? One of the fighters whose careers she handled was Jarrell Miller, right? And after he tested positive for 3 banned substances, she was like, "Oh, y'all only doing that because of this." That was her explanation.
No.
I swear to God, B, that's what she said. I did a video on it. I'm like, how you turning that into this? Last I checked, Anthony Joshua ain't Caucasian, so that don't even come into it, my God. Like, how? Like, it don't register. Like, nah, this is not about that. This because you literally sat here accusing Anthony Joshua of being on pads, but you the one that got caught on pads. That's what it's about.
Oh,
right?
It's like when Fury called out Usyk for being a drug cheat, even though he was a registered drug cheat.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, huh?
I'm like, man, if this dude don't sit down, like
now Serafina, right? She was dealing with Jarrell Miller at the time, and she said that she didn't deal with him no more after that. But coincidentally, she's also dealing with Rahman, right? And with Rahman, what she said is, how y'all gonna offer Tommy Fury $2 million, but offer us $250,000? That's a slap in the face. And I'm like, wait a minute, man, why'd you sign it? You should have said no then. Like, nah, I'm not fighting for $250. I gotta come down to $200 for $250,000. Nah, you can't sign it and then flip the fuck out over it. You should have flipped the fuck out right then and there. Like, yo, at least make it $500,000. Fucking $250,000. You offering us less than a quarter of what fucking Tommy was gonna get.
Hey, I'm a boxing fan, man, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm not that familiar with either Tommy or Rahman's boxing career. I just know his last name is a Fury.
Listen, bro.
Tommy sucks.
I don't really know who has a ceiling out of them. Because look, Rahman got knocked out in his last fight, in case y'all don't know. He got knocked out by Tommy Morrison's son.
Yep.
So it ain't like oh yeah, it's levels. Like, nah, it ain't about right. Like, yeah, you undefeated, but you ain't shit. You just got knocked out. So I
mean, what's funny, like, you know, you get guys like that, then all of a sudden all you have to do is take a trip to the box rec and see who they fought. And that tells you what you need to know.
Yeah. So I'm like, in other words, what were they supposed to offer you? You know, because if $250,000 is a slap in the face, what were they supposed to offer you?
Oh no, better yet, what did he get for his last fights? What was his highest purse for his last fight?
Exactly. If that's a slap in the face, then how you okay fighting for this? Because I know you wasn't. I don't know. I guess that's where the question comes from. Up until now, because you're 12-1, what have your purses looked like?
It just sounds like Rahman never wanted to fight to begin with. Why sign?
I don't need.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if $250,000 is more than you've ever got before, then you should be complaining.
To be honest, who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
You right though, like it's a wrap for that. I think the only pertinent question to ask now is, look, there's not a lot of old MMA guys floating around for him to do what he been doing, because if we gonna be real, he really got that wave off of that, off of calling out old MMA guys. It wasn't really like yeah, he knocked out Nate Robinson, but that shit wasn't really like that. It was after the Ben Askren fight. It was like, oh, he stretched him. Ain't no more guys like that around though. So what they gonna do?
What had me cracking up is how, after he knocked out Nate, hella boxers lost their mind. Like,
well, yeah, but you know, I mean, it was tribalism, like, and it was. But I'm like, look, at the end of the, and I didn't think nothing of the Nate Robinson shit.
Me neither. So it's like,
a basketball player. If they want to fight, let them fight. What fucking difference does it make?
I mean, shit. If the hair gels don't work out for Floyd, he could always go for the other brother.
Yeah, true. I think Pretty Ricky saying fucking Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz still under contract, bro.
He about to fight
Diaz is holding on, bro. Nate Diaz looks like he's holding on by God's good graces, man.
But he still sell tickets, my guy. For whatever reason, he still sell tickets. If they put him on the show, it's gonna sell, and he still is under contract. So it's not like he could just go to Showtime and do whatever with Jake. If Nate. I'll put it this way: Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul does numbers.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god!
Nate Diaz is kind of like the Derek Chisora of MMA to an extent. He's got hella losses, but he's developed that cult following.
He's still a draw. He still puts that in. People still want to see him fight.
Did you guys see Jake Paul compare himself to Dimitri Bivol?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That was hilarious.
That shit made me want to throw up.
Jesus Christ!
It's not low-key dead though, because I'm like, yo, either he's a fucking retard or he thinks we're all retards.
Or the drugs he doing that's some good shit.
It's that marketing shit, bro. It's that marketing.
It gotta, because I'm like, fam, you not B-Wall, fam. Like, what the fuck about you?
My thing is like, okay, if you actually think that, fight B-Ball. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, shit. That's the other dumb shit. If you think you could beat Canelo, right? Like B-Ball, so go fight B-Ball.
B-Ball can move up and weight too. Go to.
It's just a common sense argument. Like, fam, if
hey
you
guys.
Huh?
Certain shit ain't justify the response. You know he's just doing this for clout, because let's keep it a buck. Do we really believe? Come on, bro. Do we really think he's on Bivell's level, man? It is what it is.
If he gets him in the ring with Bivell, so I can see him get his ass beat, I'll say
also, we gotta hold Showtime accountable, Chris, because remember, they are the ones that are trying to sell him to us. Y'all let Clarissa Shields go. Right, remember? Y'all let her go. Y'all didn't want
Clarissa Shields' people was bugging out, almost killing James Ali Bashir.
I'm just saying that. Look, I don't look at it as an even trade. I'm saying for the money you fucking blowing on Jake and his bullshit, you could have gave her extra 100,000. I'm not telling you to give her $1 million, but you could have gave her extra 100,000. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the shenanigans she pulled, at the end of the day, cost her that, and it's not Showtime's fault.
What are these shenanigans costing, Chris? What are these shenanigans costing? They not gonna get their deposit from Madison Square Garden back.
I feel you, but at the end of the day, there's a reason. There is a reason.
They should put Jake Paul in there with Chavez Jr. And that would sell hella tickets if you put it in California. Think about it.
Wasn't he calling out Jake not that long ago?
And then all the white guys, you fill up a whole ass stadium with that.
I thought it would sell.
Jr. would probably lose, because just like how he lost to Silva.
And then boxing as a sport, like if he actually ever does beat a legitimate, well, is Chavez a legitimate boxer though?
Not anymore.
Yes, he is.
He still boxes?
Nah, he lost to Spider Silva.
Yeah, I know.
Not a boxer.
But at the end of the day, he was WBC middleweight champion of the world. And I said this.
He lost to Anderson Silva.
I said this.
This is his last fight, Chris. This is his last fight.
This is what I'm going to say about boxing. This is how fucked up boxing is. In the history of life, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., irrespective of what we think, has credence to say, yes, I was champion of the world. And the great late Howard Davis Jr., gold medalist, Bob Barkley Trophy, can't say the same thing. Ain't that some shit?
I'm just saying, fam.
Boxing's so fucking crazy, bro.
I'm just
Like, this shit
saying
is
that he
nasty.
lost to Anderson Silva in a boxing match. He
Should
can't
have beat
lose
that guy.
to
Should
Jake
have beat
Paul.
that guy. Should have beat that
Yo,
guy.
Julius in chat. Julius in chat. Why do you think Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. hasn't disowned him yet?
He can. I mean, he can.
I can.
Canelo's the son he always wanted. We know that.
What, bro? I would have disowned him early, a long time ago. Like, well, bro. Yo.
In other words, the worst thing that could happen moving forward, and just being serious, the worst thing that could happen moving forward is that Jake would beat a Chavez, someone with a name who people know, who was a champion, right? Because he's not going away after that. Like, not if he beats a Chavez. And yeah, he stands a legitimate chance of beating Chavez because Chavez is not a boxer. He's a professional serial eater. He is not a boxer.
Wow.
Professional fuck up. That's
Bro,
what he
then
is.
can you even say that's a legit fight? Then he's like fighting a journeyman.
Fam, how you lose a fight to a retired MMA fighter who's like 15 years older than you?
Well, you see, it was an off day.
Hey, yo, what the hell is that?
What the fuck?
Yo,
what the fuck?
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
What?
Wow.
What was it?
Oh damn!
What
man.
was it?
There's some Fruit Loops on here, man.
What was it?
Yo, fam, what the fuck, fam?
I missed it. What was it?
You don't want to know, fam.
It was a porn movie, man.
No, nah.
They were trying to continue your conversation from last
Oh,
week.
from yesterday.
Yo, what happened? Yo, what happened, bro? I'm eating. I'm muting my whole shit. I'm eating. What happened?
I don't know what that shit was, but it ain't look right. It didn't look right.
Yo, Jules, I can remember a stream, bro. There was some troll dude who came in, and his avatar was a dick, bro. Like, these people love on the weirdo shit on your channel specifically.
They love being disruptive,
Dude
bro.
said, "What kind of porn?" Oh my god. Grim Reaper.
Amok says just showing some love, and I'm out for the night. Appreciate that, Amok. Nah, he stands a legitimate chance of beating Chavez, which is why I kind of don't want him to fight Chavez. Because if he wins, he's not going away. He can always say, "I beat the son of a legend. I beat a former champion." Y'all can't say I didn't fight a boxer. Y'all can't say I didn't fight a champion, so to speak, right? If he beats that guy, bro, Jake Paul is here to stay, and I don't want that. I don't really want that.
Yeah, but you know, here's the
let
thing,
me ask y'all
Julius.
this. Let me ask y'all this right quick. If Jake gets knocked out in devastating fashion, does he continue his boxing career after that?
Yeah,
No,
but against other influences, not against boxers.
Okay. Okay.
Like he
Because he got the KSI fight the
I was just about to say that.
He got that KSI. He fake popping over there in the UK, and they could do something.
He's been
That's true.
popping.
That's true.
It was actually KSI and Joe Weller that started all this entertainment. But
Real
YouTube
shit,
boxing
like
and all that.
real shit. And he could always, if he get knocked out by a real boxer, he could always fight that dude. You know what I mean?
And he will.
Depending on how badly he gets knocked out. Say if he gets knocked out on some Julian Jackson, Harold Graham shit, you don't really think. Look, you say, "Oh man, I don't want to get hit like that ever again."
I need to do this shit no more.
Yeah, somebody need to hit him like that, bro.
Because I haven't seen him fight to know if he has any ability.
Who, KSI?
Or punch resistance.
No, KSI sucks.
Like, is he worse than Jake?
Oh yeah.
No,
Yes.
yes.
I don't know if y'all ever saw the Yeah, I don't know
And
if
I'm a
y'all saw the
KSI fan.
KSI Logan Paul.
I love JJ, but he'll lose to Jake.
Wasn't KSI the one who fucked up his brother?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Yeah, he beat Logan Paul. Paul.
Split decision. I saw that fight. It's like, this guy, he's just, he ain't,
But he was just swinging his arms.
Yeah, that's all he did. That's all he did.
If you ever feel old, that was when Vine was still a thing.
Bro, Vine was my shit. Go ahead.
No, Vine was not a thing.
Did you see my tweet on Twitter the other night?
About what?
About Jose Benavidez? Dude, Alicia Baumgartner was laughing at it, man.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what about him? What you say?
I had this picture of these dudes that, Maori dudes that did the hakas. They do hakas, and they all got their tongue sticking out. And it
Yo, you funny as hell for that, bro. Yo, you funny as hell for that. Yo, country's retarded, bro.
Now let me get back to the shit. I vaguely recall KSI versus Logan Paul, and I remember thinking like, "Yo, this shit is like neither one of y'all know how to fight. Like, forget boxing, y'all just don't know how to fight at all. Like, where the fuck they found both of y'all at? B?
The
Where the
Disney
Yo,
fuck
bro,
they
Club,
I'm
right?
found both of
confident. I'm
y'all at?
confident. I'm confident in this. Logan Paul would get slumped by his little brother. Bad.
I
Yeah,
think so.
probably.
I think yeah,
I
he
think
would.
so.
I think
I
so.
think
I
so.
believe
You
that.
know what's funny though? Logan Paul has a more legitimate boxing career than Jake. He did an
He
exhibition
fought
with Floyd.
Floyd.
That's true. That's true. Shit.
Okay,
Like,
I want to say this about Jake Paul. Jake Paul, for what I know about what he is doing, is committed to boxing in some degree,
Yeah.
and is pouring a lot of money in paying for trainers and sparrings. And you can see, if you see any of these new videos, the training and the sparring is already affecting him. I think some guys are natural athletes. They can do some shit, not on the highest level, but they can do it. But not necessarily you have the physicality to endure the training and the sparring, and Jake Paul doesn't have it. You can see for watching him speak that the guy is a little touch up for the training.
Can I say
And
this, Leo? It go
it's
back to
gonna
what I said yesterday that it's not for everybody. Everybody is not supposed to be a boxer. That's
and it's
because
gonna
that's what I was trying to say. That like just a little bit that he's doing is already messing him up.
and it's gonna get worse if he continuing doing this. It's gonna get worse, and not necessarily because he's gonna lose badly, but the training is gonna affecting him, and he's gonna decide, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe for a one last payday, because the motherfucker has a lot of money. He doesn't have the need to do this.
I mean,
I don't think it's the training that affects boxers. I think it's the sparring. I think it's this because when you spar with those big gloves, and I can tell you this from my like limited amateur experience, bro, man, with them big gloves and that sparring helmet that they have on, it makes your head a bigger target. You're tired throwing bigger gloves as opposed to smaller gloves, and you're getting hit with hard shots, man. You're getting hit with hard shots from guys who are very talented, skillful, and you're a bigger target as opposed to if you were fighting with 10-ounce gloves or even 12-ounce gloves. It would actually kind of be better because hey, the target is a lot less, and say if you're sparring without headgear, hey, you can actually see the punch is actually sometimes clearer than what you have wearing with headgear. And when you get hit with those big shots, it sometimes feel like a frying pan to the side of your head. Like real talk. Like I can remember a time like I sparred a guy his name is Bruce. That's my dude. Shout out to Sav B. He hit me with a 1-2, bro. I can tell you this. He hit me so hard I didn't feel it. That's how I knew I was hurt. But I still had the wherewithal to cover up because incoming. So trust me. If he's getting hit by if you're getting hit by like amateurs that can properly punch, that's gonna hurt you. Imagine somewhat elite level guys to elite level guys hitting you as hard as they possibly can with them gloves on.
Well, remember,
that's not good.
He's hiring guys, right? Not to say that he's in there with blue chip prospects per se, right? But I did see him with Jean Pascal. I did see that. And he was in there with Rahman. So he is hiring guys that do more or less know their way around.
Jean Pascal's a 2-weight world champion and a violent dude back in his day. Bro, did y'all not see the Carl Froch Pascal fight, my nigga?
Yeah.
That was a devastating fight, bro. Like, Carl Froch said, yo, I perforated my eardrum, I broke my nose. Like, he said he went through hell in that fight. So, if that's what Jake is fighting, bro, and Pascal's a grimy Haitian dude, like a real violent motherfucker, so he's not going to just take it easy on you. Especially, what's up?
Hey,
I'm going to finish up like that.
There are amateurs that will really hurt Jake.
Badly.
The point I'm making is Jake is a dude who basically walked in off the street to sparring world-class guys. And he do sound like his speech is slurred to the point that I made yesterday and the point that Leo is making it. Like, yeah, boxing ain't for everybody, bro. It ain't as simple as, well, you hit the heavy bag and you did a couple of drills and you sparred a couple of guys and now you got what it takes. There's certain shit I've always felt is certain shit you got to have just in you to be doing that. And I don't think Jake has that shit, because you wouldn't be doing all this, bro. You could find a little 5-0 motherfucker out there, unbeaten motherfucker to fight. Let's cut the shit. There's plenty of guys out there to fucking fight. Motherfuckers find motherfuckers all the time. It's journeyman.
But them niggas are dangerous. Some journeymen are dangerous, Jules.
That's the point I'm making. If you was for real about this boxing shit, right, you would have had your Emmanuel Augustus fight. If you were serious, because you're supposed to have that fight. You literally are supposed to have that fight with that journeyman that he got plenty of rounds and he gonna come here and maybe he not here to win, but he here to make you work. And
yeah, I mean, dig somebody up from the rankings, from like the top 50, 100 or something. Somebody's floating around.
Let me tell you something though. If Emmanuel Augustus turn, like, say for example, a journeyman, I'm not gonna let this YouTuber up and beat me. Some of these journeymen, like that, a lot of elite level pros said, "Yo, it wasn't the champions that hit hard; it was the journeymen, bro." They said, like, I can remember, like, fucking, like, Nate Campbell talking about a guy named Teddy Reed. He was a journeyman / contender. He said, like, yo, bro, Teddy Reed hit me as hard as, like, Randall Bailey. And Randall Bailey's a 2-weight world champion that knocked people out. So imagine, like, a Teddy Reed type puncher hitting Jake Paul in the head. Bro, that's not something that he wants. And the second thing, Jules, you talk about the intangibles that boxers need to have. I never can you expound on that if you feel like it?
I'm gonna say this, right? It's to the point that you just made about journeyman. I remember Andre Ward. They asked Andre Ward, "Who's one of the hardest punches you ever fought?" Everybody thinking he gonna say Kovalev. He said Edison Miranda. Edison Miranda. Fam.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, he said Miranda hit like, whoa, like, what the fuck is this?
Y'all remember what Darnell Boone did to him?
Yep, and Darnell Boone could have stopped him.
And to the point that I'm making about what Jake is really doing here, fam, your career not serious. Like, nah, because you supposed to have that war with a journeyman. The war that Floyd had with Emmanuel Augustus. The fucking war that Mickey Ward had with Emmanuel Augustus. If you was really about that fighting shit, you would have had that already. Your boxing.
You would have had your Kell Brook versus Carson Jones.
I want to play devil's advocate though. Let's play it this way. They gave this kid a contract to sell tickets and to sell pay-per-views.
Yep.
Yo, Jake Paul's the fucking goat. Hey, Jake Paul. Hey,
Jules, be careful, man. These Jake Paul trolls about to come on, man. That's why I got in.
Shut your bitch ass up, boy. If I fucking stick my finger so
they trolling everybody, bro. As soon as you mention his name.
Who's this dude?
That's a dude named Miggs too. I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna try to show his wiener, dude. I seen homeboy on.
Is that the dude who showed up the porno?
Well, any man who goes out of his way to show other men porn or show off their
Jules, you gotta be careful with these Jake Paul dudes.
We got Payne 1993. Let's see what Payne talking about.
I told you, bro.
Hold on, hold on. Nobody say nothing. I want to see who Payne is. Go ahead, Payne.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just fix my mic real quick. My bad. Y'all can keep all talking though.
Well, that's an emo girl in your shit though.
Huh?
It's like an emo girl, like a scene girl.
Oh yeah. All right, hold on. Let me just show this real quick.
Is that Barbara Johnson?
Look at my ass, nigga. Look at this.
Yeah, see, Jules, I try to tell you, man. These dudes are weird, bro.
Hey, I didn't know motherfuckers like Jake like that.
Jules, I try to tell you, bro. That's why I hopped on. Hey, Jules.
Yo, you know what the sad? Yo, hold up. You know what the sad part is? Nobody.
Yo, Jules.
Let me talk, fam. Let me talk. Nobody saw you, fam. So you wasting your own fucking time. Like literally, nobody saw you. You did all that shit so that nobody would see your stupid ass.
Yo, Jules, what? They can go anywhere in the world. There's billions of people on this earth. Why they come here, bro?
Accuse the dude.
Because they want to.
Nigga talking about shoving his finger up another man's ass. Like, what type of shit is this?
Hey, look,
we talking boxing, bro. Jesus Christ.
We are in the year 2022. You know, sometimes you gotta sometimes you ain't got nothing to do. If you live in a first world country, you got to show your dick to
Yo,
someone
I
else.
tried to
man.
warn you,
No,
man. That's
bro.
why I was trying to tell you that.
Yo, go
Bruh.
ahead, go ahead, Frank. Frank, go ahead.
Nah, I seen that. I was trying to tell you, man. You got to be careful with these Jake Paul trolls, man. So I don't know how they hear the name. He's been trending, but they'll hop on and try to get you shut down.
Yo,
I got a message for him. Fuck Jake Paul. How about
I
that?
mean, you gotta respect the following that he got. That he got motherfuckers showing people they trying. I should say trying to show people they butthole because nobody seen the shit. Like nobody seen
bro,
it.
this is sick. Yo, Jules, bro, this is what boxing and this is what the world's become, bro. Like, yo, bro, I understand back in the day there was ducking. Like, yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard should have fought Donald Curry. He should have fought Mike McCallum and what have you. But hey, he gave us fights. But now we see people, boxers don't want to fight people, but they get mad because they have Jake Paul fans like this. Like, yo, bro, it's y'all fault, B. It's really y'all fault.
Hey, man, that ain't a fan. If you go out of your way to show your dick or your asshole to someone, bro,
Like,
that's not a fan, bro.
We got another motherfucker named Queasy.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's a troll, bro.
The way they're acting, I'm feeling kind of queasy.
That is not a real person. Hey, bro, none of y'all boxing in real life. I'll fuck you and your fucking mother. Hey, I hope your fucking slut mother dies.
Oh my bro.
Y'all
Yo, listen, let me talk, man. Don't interrupt me. Let me talk, right? Check this shit. All y'all bitch ass motherfuckers that's here to defend Jake, right? You just drumming up my AdSense, so keep them coming, motherfucker. That's just more AdSense for me.
I feel that you do this for a monetary gain, bro. But every time the weird stuff happen on the chat, why you never listen to me? Why you not just like just not
I'm
deal with
I'm
these
about
people?
to shoot Barbara Johnson a link because I see Barbara Johnson trying to get on.
You know her.
Go ahead, Barbara. I'll post the link for you right there, Barbara. Go ahead.
Come on, nigga. His name is Barbara Johnson. Do you believe? Yo, chat. Y'all believe this shit?
You never know. Go ahead, click the link. It's right there. Ain't nobody on.
Bro, y'all are walking condom ads.
Yo, don't say that.
Nah, better yet, you know what, bro? It was a sad day when they crawled out the abortion tub. That's all I'm gonna say.
I ain't mad at them. Do your thing, B. That's more views for me.
Hey, mama, should have
Dude, you would blow up. You keep Jake Paul as your main.
This one way left.
Nah, everybody's talking about Jake. This is what they're doing to everybody.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, right? This is basically what he wanted. I think it was Showbiz. Showbiz said it best. I caught a video that Showbiz did, and he was like, fam, well, at least this is what he believed, that Jake was never going to fight Hasim Rahman, that they was always going to find a way out to fight, and what they wanted to do was make it look like legitimate boxers is afraid of him. That was really the campaign. And yeah, I mean that's
I believe it.
I mean that's what Showbiz said. And when you looking at it, it's kind of like I don't know what the fuck that is. Justice. I don't know what that is.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't even let the motherfucker on. But yeah, it kind of makes
sense.
Thank
you, Jules. That's growth, man. That's maturity.
It makes sense. It makes sense that it's like you trying to make it seem like, look, I don't like Tommy Fury, right? I ain't even defending him. But we know why he couldn't get in the country. It ain't got nothing to do with you. He couldn't get in the country because of that Kinahan shit. Ain't because he's scared of you, feel me? It's because of that Kinahan shit. It's just bad optics. And with Hasim, he, technically he blew the weight, but it ain't because he's scared of you, fam. Yeah. I know we got Santana Rodriguez. Let's see what Santana talking about.
Oh boy!
Oh fuck me!
See? Oh, bro, I'm telling you, man. This shit is real. Hey, but Jules, this has always been a part of sports, though. Right? This always Master P tried to be a basketball player. Michael tried to be a baseball player. Like, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, the funny shit is, look, the longer he stay in the sport, the closer he bring himself to being knocked out. I mean, that's kind of the reality of it. It's like the longer you stay doing this shit, somebody is gonna get you, because Showtime's spending bread on you, feel me? And they got to put you in a situation that at least attracts attention. So there has to be some element of danger. And you running out of old retired UFC fighters. You're going to have to fight somebody. and somebody gonna get you.
Well, here's the thing, Jules. I don't think he's again. I mean, I think you may have mentioned this before, but again, his target audience isn't boxing fans, man. In my opinion, because no boxing fan gives a shit about you fighting an MMA dude.
No, the boxing fans don't. But in order to sell a fight, it has to be a fight, and there's certain elements that gotta be there. If you're trying to sell a fight, right? People gotta perceive that there's danger, and you running out of frou options. Like, ain't no more retired UFC guys out there for you, bro. It ain't. What you gonna do? Fight Tyron Woodley again? There's nobody else out there. Nate Diaz is still under contract. Conor is still under contract. So who are they gonna get for you to fight?
He's too scared to fight
drag
Silva,
up someone.
bro. I feel like Anderson Silva would whoop Jake Paul's ass.
They'll probably drag someone up who retired back during the days of Bellator, or something like that.
I mean, he gonna have to start. He gonna have to start fighting like actors or some shit, like actors, like TV actors, because it's like, fam, like you running out of pretend fights to make. There's no more.
You know, it's a good. You know, it's a good pretend fight. Oh, that's a good one. You know, it's a good one actually.
Which one?
Jake Paul versus. There's actually two. Jake Paul versus Ryan Bader, and Jake Paul versus Anthony Rumble Johnson.
I don't know who either of them people.
Bro, Rumble Johnson is old as shit, dude.
Johnson will knock
what?
the fuck out of him. Don't you think?
Ricky, just be quiet.
Rumble Johnson. I think Rumble Johnson will knock the fuck out of him. Don't you think?
That's what I want to happen, bro.
Yeah, but isn't Johnson like in his 40s, man? He's old as shit, dude.
So what, bro? At the end of the day, if he doesn't want to fight these, real boxers, might as well fight a, MMA guy that still has some punch power, but old. At the end of the day, it's a foolproof thing because they're not going to. I look at it like this. We can talk about the air of danger and everything. And what Jules is saying is 100% correct. But these kids look up to Jake Paul in a way which is a real sycophantish way. So at the end of the day, anyone they put in front of him,
hold on, fam, hold on. Let me say this to the kids. All of y'all are losers. That's why y'all look up to a retard.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
Bubbles out let me champ this shit because I've been quiet. Like, if you look up to somebody like that, it's because you a fucking Ritalin laced loser. You probably got like ADHD or something. Like something got to be wrong with you for that to be your idol. You know what I mean? Put him in a real fight if he a fighter. Put him in a real fight. It's no shortage of cruiserweights in the world. There's plenty of motherfuckers out there that weigh 200 pounds. Plenty. You don't want to fight real fighters. And that's what's becoming the reason the gimmick is starting to fail is because it's becoming more apparent that you're not a fighter. See, before it was different. If you told me, like, let's say, okay, me and Leo, we're both social media influencers or we're both YouTubers and we got a beef, we want to fight. That's legit. That's just legit. Like, nah, that's two motherfuckers that want to have a fight. But you trying to pass yourself off as a legit boxer, well, it's starting to become apparent that you're not that because it really ain't no shortage of motherfuckers out there that weigh 200 pounds.
It's Maymac minus the prestige.
Yeah, it's like fam, if you wanted to fight on August 6th, they could have found you somebody. And more people are starting to notice that now, okay, well, the Tommy thing didn't happen, but we going to write that off because we know Tommy couldn't enter the country. Now it's the Rahman shit. And once again, you don't fight. So the problems start as soon as it's time for you to fight a real boxer. That's how it looked, even to the casual. That's how it looked. And now you got to fight a real boxer. It's always a problem. The average motherfucker don't got time to read all these articles and discern and decipher. All they gonna see is, every time they try to put them in there with a boxer, the fucking fight don't happen. And I don't think it's because you that nice, fam. Like, nah, it's because low-key, you a joke, fam. Like, you a joke. Like, you ain't trying to fight nobody. Somebody gonna get him, though, because I just seen that in my crystal ball. Like, somebody gonna end up getting him. Maybe probably next year. Not this year because it's not enough time. But he running out of people to fight. And that's what I noticed. That the novelty...
You know it's a good fight for him?
Who?
Oh, Julius. It's a good fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Why not?
Julius from Ring IQ. He's smart.
I don't get a following, but why not?
Jake Paul versus Ring IQ.
Yeah, Julius, you can make 205. You can make 205, right?
You can make 205.
Jules, there's an actual YouTube boxing channel. They're setting up fights right now. I've seen it.
No, I know that, and I think the boxing voice. the boxing voice been doing that shit too. I think I seen Nesta and them setting up some shit up between like I think it was YouTubers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
it's
3
a
months
real
ago.
channel now. It's a
Hey,
real thing.
Jules, what would you rather fight him in, tables and ladders match or Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell, bro. We ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. I love it.
Jules, just know, if it was a pay-per-view fight, I'd pay for you, Jules.
I mean, listen, man. I move units, B. I move units. But no bullshit though. Like all jokes aside, like they're running out of people to put them in there with, and that's what I was thinking. Because damn, like y'all must have been desperate that y'all got Rahman, right? And Rahman said that they had a guy who was supposed to be the sub for him.
Yeah, I heard that.
And that caught my attention. And like, fam, if y'all really wanted to save the date and do this event, y'all had somebody y'all could have put in there. So really, y'all pulled the plug. It's not because of what y'all saying. It's because that shit was going to flop. Like
that's what I ultimately believe. I can't believe anything else.
It's what I want to believe with the why Andre pulled out of his last fight, man. I want to believe the promotional company knew that it's like, though, this shit isn't gonna sell.
I mean, look, man, Andre, I feel for him, but it's like you gotta bite the bullet, bro. You either that or retire. Because if you don't fight,
you're not helping his case with the moves you're making. He not. Like,
I don't like. And look, it's been 3 weeks, and we still don't know what he gonna do.
Yeah, but what makes the most sense? You heard what Dana White said. You know, he's breaking down the business. What makes the most sense? Like he kind of told us. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Dana White took a shot at Showtime, bro. If you really listen to what he said, he's like, well, look, you know, he need to get with some people that really know how to put an event together. Now, who putting together his shit? Showtime. They the ones that's putting together his shit because he not no real promoter. Just because you got, just because you pay for a license or whatever, you're not a real promoter, fam.
Yeah, Floyd was never a real promoter. He was always under Golden Boy, right?
Exactly.
Golden Boy and Showtime.
Did he have Golden Boy promote his fights? He did, right?
Rider of the Storm says Showtime, Paul versus Thurman or Danny Garcia. They dumb enough to do it. Jacob Sims says Julius with Benavidez versus Morrell falling out. Who, in your opinion, swerved who? Well, we only got one side of the story, bro. And we only got the Benavidez side. They're saying that the Morrell people don't want to fight. So until I hear Morrell say otherwise, I'm going to take it at face value. Because I don't hear them denying it either. I don't see no interviews of David Morrell and his team saying, nah, that's bullshit. This is what it was. Y'all not denying it. So I'm going to assume, hey, must be some truth to it. Until you tell me otherwise.
I think Morrell wants to fight him, but I think it's just Ronnie Shield on Morrell's side because I think Morrell will beat him.
Nah, Morrell won't beat him. Not this year. Not this year. Maybe later, but not this year. Not this year.
A couple more fights.
I never believed that was going to happen.
Listen. I think it's the money, bro, because that conversation that I had with Sampson, right? I remember some mention of money, and I'm like, well, what would they pay Morrell for a fight like that? Because Morrell's likely only chasing it because of the money, but you don't get a lot of money fighting David Benavidez, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna get like $1 million. Like, you don't get a lot of money fighting that motherfucker.
He ain't no draw cash cow.
I actually think he wanted an opportunity to put his name out there, but maybe they were offering him very low.
I feel like when they sat down and tried to do the fight, they seen what they was gonna get, and they was like, "Nah, fuck that. We'll come back to it. Fuck that."
Yeah, how much did David Lemieux make?
Yo, I think he only made like 100,000.
That's it.
I think I think he only made like it's like fam. That's what I mean. And I'm like, yo, you go in there with David Benavidez, and yeah, it's a good fight. Like, of course I'll watch it. But if you the fighter, bro, what y'all paying me for this?
They were fighting in Phoenix, Arizona, right? That arena didn't look super full.
But who really believed Benavidez Morales was going to happen?
I ain't going front. I did. I ain't going front.
I did too.
Really?
Because they were at odds.
I did.
When they giving us Plant Darrell, that tells you all you need to know.
But look, I believe. Listen, the schedule that I thought we was going to get for the fall was Plant versus Darrell, which looks to be happening. And I said that months ago that I think Plant gonna fight Darrell or Charlo, whichever's first. It's either Darrell or Charlo for Plant. And I felt like, yeah, David probably gonna fight Morrell because if you don't fight Morrell, who are you gonna fight? They said that they wanted him to fight 2 times this year. I'm like, well, who the fuck else they got at 68 for him to fight?
Yeah, I was watching the CJ. I was watching CJ Goodfella in terms of the David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo fight, and they said, hey, it was Al Heyman that was stopping that fight because Espinoza really wants to put on that fight because he's really getting all the pressure from his bosses at Showtime, and a lot of people are starting to say, yo, if you don't get us these fights, we're gonna get out the boxing game just similar to
They'll cut his
HBO
budget, bro. They'll cut his budget if they don't start seeing an uptick in viewership. They'll cut his fucking budget next year, bro. That's the
Showtime
problem.
isn't gonna exist in like 2 years.
Good.
And they're the only thing that they got. Showtime.
There's one thing that could save Showtime, right? And spoiling fighters is why it won't happen, right? The ideal fight for the end of the year, right, is Jamal Charlo versus David Benavidez at 168 on pay-per-view. But this is how you got to work it. The guarantees got to be low. Talking about 1.5 mil, 1.5 mil, right? Or maybe 2 to Charlo since he moving up and, he champion, whatever, right? Give him 2 for the risks and give David 1.5. You got to invest in the future with that fight. And you keep the cost low so it could be an upside. Because if you spend too much money trying to make it, well, it ain't going to be no upside. But I guarantee you, Charlo versus Benavidez does 275 to 3. And it would be a profit.
I think
it's a black versus Mexican. That's the biggest rivalry.
But it won't happen. But what'll stop it from happening is Charlo not gonna fight a dude like this for no 2 mil, bro. Not 2 mil. He not gonna do that. David will fuck around and bite the bullet and do it. But Charlo not gonna go up there to not fight for no belt for 2 mil. Nah, he rather sit out and wait another year, if anything.
Can I ask you a question, Jules? But here's the thing.
Like $5 million, yeah.
But here's the thing. If he doesn't move up, he ain't got no one to really fight in that weight class because all the champions don't want to fight, and he's not going to fight as mandatory.
Damn, you think he care? He ain't fought this year yet, bro. It's August.
What has he been doing for the last freaking 4 years?
Exactly. But here's what's going to happen as a result. Eventually, he's gonna pull a fucking Deontay Wilder because he's been so inactive. He's gonna have some ring rust. He's gonna pick a guy who's like a mandatory that's actually been hustling, and he's gonna get his ass beat in spectacular fashion.
He's not smart enough to think that far. Listen, he's not smart enough to think that far into the future, bro. Like,
I mean, look,
he's not smart enough.
Julius, you don't have to. You don't have to use smarts for that, actually, bro. Like you don't have to.
Nah, you underestimate people, man. People manage their careers different ways.
But here's
the thing.
this
is what I see. I said it at about 3-4 months ago. I would be surprised if Jamal fights this year at all. Why? I told y'all before, I believe there's a whiteboard at the PBC HQ that dictates who fights and when. Danny's inactivity last year wasn't for no reason. They kept him out. They shelved him like, look, you're not fighting this year. So you just take this out. They probably gave him a financial incentive because if you look at the inactivity, it's almost sequenced. Thurman, he fights Danny, and then he don't fight for 2 years. And then Danny comes back, and then he don't fight for a year, and Thurman don't fight for 2 years again. Y'all don't got enough money to go around for all these fighters. That's one. Y'all don't have enough fight dates for all of these fighters. And I think they looked at the Charlo shit like, yo, why we going to spend money to do Charlo versus Uliecki as a show when it ain't going to bring us back nothing? Call that shit off and shelf them. Call it off.
Jules, what's your line of thinking? I understand what you're saying. So at what point does a David Benavidez say, hey, man, this is like screwing me over? Like, when do you speak up? Like,
to him. The problem with him is that his manager, you know how this works, Frank. The manager is supposed to operate on behalf of the fighter so that the promoter doesn't screw him. But what makes the PBC different is the managers are in cahoots with the promoter. They with the shit. By all rights, motherfucking Samson ought to be calling Eddie like, yo, can we do a Benavidez versus Saunders fight? Let's do that. Let's put that together. I want to get my guy out there against somebody that had a belt and for some people. Let's do that shit. That's what's supposed to be happening. But what's different about the PBC that I noticed, the managers is working with the promoter.
Can I ask you a question?
That's not spoke. That ain't. Fam, you got to do something for your fighter, not the fucking promoter.
Bro, I don't know what the ABC doesn't look into that shit, bro.
With what you just said in mind, Jules, can I ask you a question then? with that in mind, then when do your fighters start become like just
That's
like
what
a
I just
hassle?
asked. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
that's what
sorry.
I just
I'm
said.
sorry.
And
I
there's nothing David could do because the ink is dried on the contracts, bro. He don't have the. Don't you see? He tried to leave 4 years ago. He tried to go to Top Rank. They gave him like a couple $100,000, and he was gonna cross over, and they reeled him back in. He tried to leave.
Jules, let me ask you this: when his contract is up this time, will he leave?
Probably not.
See,
I think David's going to leave. I think he's going to leave.
I don't think so.
Here's why.
Because usually
Because
PBC
I
fighters,
honestly,
they're there to stay.
I honestly think this. Out of everybody on the PBC, there was 2 people. One left and one still there. There was 2 people, Danny Jacobs and David Benavidez. I honestly think they want to have those fights, and I think David Benavidez. I think he's ambitious enough. I think he's gotten over the little kid shit because I did hold the cocaine against him, but Broadway Joel made me realize something. That dude was only 23, 24, bro. So he was a kid. Like he's the same age as me. He's the same age as me. We both turned 26 this year. So, but at the end of the day, I think he has, I want to fight. I have a young son. I'm trying to provide for him, and the money's drying up because at the end of the day, I still have to pay my father on the payroll, and I still have to do these things as a man and as a father. And I think he will leave because let's really keep it a buck. I honestly think
if he busts away from the PBC, he could really go somewhere.
But I'm gonna ask you a different question, right? If you a fighter that has been being fed Lemieux and shit, and Angulos and just these kinds of guys that David has been fighting, right? Just think about the kind of guys that he's been fighting. So your contract is up now, and you could leave. You could go to Top Rank and hypothetically fight the better beeves of the world. Are you really gonna want to do that? You gonna earn your money?
We're creatures of habit. What's the point of getting out of our habit zone?
That's what I mean. Like, remember when we was talking about the Javante shit, right? That all right, let's say that his contract shit is really up. Let's say his shit is really up, right? What you think? He gonna go to Top Rank to be fighting them fucking people up? No, bro. He been getting M's doing what he doing. He not going nowhere. Not
it's
going
okay to fight.
Like what they really want.
Sadly.
Hey, a lot of people are complacent at their jobs. I mean, it ain't no wrong with that.
Look, right or wrong, it's just that I don't expect nothing to change. Like what I see, for example, at 140 about to be lit, fam. I don't even feel like bringing up Javante at all, really, because it's like it's gonna be fights, fam. Real good fights. Regis versus Zepeda is a fight that could lead to a Taylor rematch. It could lead to a Ramirez fight. It could lead to
that might be fight of the year,
fight.
bro. That might be fight of the year, Ted.
That's what I'm saying. That it's other shit. And then remember, Devin Haney not gonna stay at fucking 35 forever. He gonna move up. And when he move up, what's one of the hottest fights you could make? Devin Haney versus Lopez.
Yep.
That would be a
140 though, right?
I mean, shit.
He's at 135.
Right now he is, but how many more fights you think he gonna be at that weight, fam? How many?
I think he'll be there by this time next year. Haney will be at 140.
1 or 2.
I think. Look, he gonna fight George, right? He gonna fight George, and I'm looking for what happens after George because I'm picking him to beat George again, and maybe he does it even better this time. You know what I mean? And after that, Lomachenko gonna come knocking. Now I'm not gonna call Devin no names. I don't know what he's gonna do. But it wouldn't surprise me if he say, "Man, fuck this division. I'm moving up."
He already said it. That you don't have to. He already said it.
Oh, see, I didn't even know he said that. I didn't know he said that.
He did. He said, I want to say 2 months ago, he did say that on a certain show that if Kambosos invoked a rematch, he'll probably be forced to move up. It's there.
I mean, shit. Devin again. People like that's what pissed me off about that division. Everyone says like Devin is the guy to beat, and yet. He ain't got no one to fight because no one wants to fight him because apparently he's not worth it in there somehow.
On the side of the street that he's on, bro. On the side of the street that he's on, the best fights for Devin are at 40. On the side of the street that he's on, like after you do what you got to do with George, after you do what you got to do with George, right? You know, you could do the Lomachenko fight on pay-per-view. I would buy it. You know, I would buy that because it's already a stage that's set for that fight. But
that's a pay-per-view.
That's a pay-per-view, but what I'm wondering is if it come time to fight Lomachenko, is Team Haney, because Devin is a fighter. He gonna fight, period. But will his father want him to fight Lomachenko if he don't have to?
Well, they had an opportunity.
It would be a good
didn't.
fight though.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm wondering. That if you already became undisputed, feel me? You already did that, and it's like, well, I'm gonna stay here for what? I'm gonna compare the bread for the Lomachenko fight to the potential bread that I could get up there with Lopez, right? And if the bread for the Lopez fight is better or the same, I go for Lopez, bro. I go for Lopez.
You think those two fights are pay-per-view?
That's smart.
Or like
yeah,
Haney, yeah, it is.
You're thinking like a manager.
Loma or Lopez.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
More like this. Yeah, I mean, you could do that as a pay-per-view, but we're not talking 500,000 at the box office. We talking moderate estimate, 250 to 3. And as long as, and the main thing is, it's not about hitting 500,000, and it's not about hitting $1 million. It's about a flip. Operational costs stay low. We hit the break-even point easier because we didn't spend a lot of money to do this, and everybody wins. At most, you're looking at maybe a $6 to $5 million fight. Mm-hmm. If you tell Devin, listen, we got 2.5 to 3 mil for you, Lopez pay-per-view with a pay-per-view upside, right? Tell motherfucking Lopez, we got 2 for you, bro. We got 2, and you get a cut of the upside. Remember, that's more than he got to fight Lomachenko. So, bang, you can make that happen. It's maybe 5-6 mil in guaranteed purses. That's not hard to hit that on pay-per-view.
Probably probably about that this time next year. That'd be viable. Lopez is gonna probably take Barbosa. Haney could do a step up 140 fight, and then it's ready.
Hey, how do you think Teo fares against Barbosa? Barbosa, sorry.
I could see him hitting Barbosa with some shit, right? But I could see Barbosa being able to take the shit.
That's something
I see Barbosa putting combinations on Teo. Just putting combinations on him, eating Teo's power, and Teo mentally getting frustrated, probably even worse than Kambosos, because Barbosa puts his hands together real well, and he's skilled.
And he faked tall for 142. Like he faked tall. Like I think what Barbosa standing at 5'9", 5'11". That's tall for 140. So and Teo don't like tall. Teo don't like quote unquote tall guys. Remember after the Nakatani fight?
Yep, I remember.
So I see.
Never fight this guy again.
Campos has heavy hands. I need to see Teo's punch resistance.
Yeah,
that's
but
the first thing I look at.
Udo, fam, like, did you see that? Like, he fighting them local cats from Big
Campos is tough. He's rugged. He's gonna. I'm talking about like his punch resistance. You know, like how he handles it.
I don't know. I feel semi-confident that Teo gonna win that fight. I feel confident
he is. He'll be Campos.
He gonna win that fight. It's what happens after that, because the Barbosa fight, that's a test. That's a test. Or if they try to do a Teofimo versus Ramirez fight, that's a test.
Yeah. That's a way harder test.
You think Teo would ever get a chance to fight like someone like a Taylor?
Nah, I don't see that.
So?
Plus, they got Pedraza around too as well, depending on what happens in the Coleman fight.
Because real talk, I don't think Teo would do that well against the Prograis. Regis, I think Regis would fuck him up. But I was just wondering.
Think that too. I do think that.
I think Regis would beat the shit out of him.
Oh, hands down, bro. He would.
You hit him with the gumbo punch, bro. Regis from Louisiana, they eat gumbo and shit down there, bro.
If Kambosos made your face look like a bloody condom, like a bloody tampon, bro.
Yeah,
fucking Prograis is gonna destroy you, man.
No, next year if Taylor gives us those belts, man, 140 to me is gonna be the hottest division because all those belts up a grab. You got all these guys in there.
You know what's going to happen? Look, the WBA already on PBC Island. It might as well be because Puello versus what's his face. That's on the undercard of Broner versus Figueroa. So that's a PBC belt now. What I'm wondering is if Subriel Matias beats Jeremiah Ponce, is Taylor going to give up the red belt because the winner of the fight is mandatory? Is he going to give up the red belt or is he going to defend it?
Because niggas don't want to fight a guy who walked down with his hand. I'm telling you, nobody wants to fight a guy who walks to you with his hands by his waist, has great punch resistance, and punches stupid hard. Like, Matias punches retardedly hard. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's another PBC top rank situation to where like it's not just the fight that you got to look at, but like, okay, well, what's the PBC going to decide to do? Will they send Subriel Matias to top rank, confident that he will win, or will they create like a fucked up situation? Will
We didn't
Taylor
even mention Russell's in that 140, right? He's in that.
but he 11, bro. Like he not even coming up on a title shot. He's 11 WBA, 11 IBF.
I thought he's top 10 ring though.
What that got to do with fighting for a belt?
No, I'm just saying his name is up there. That's all.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know why.
I don't understand.
Hey, man, I want to see what kind of noise Prograis is going to make because he's going to make some noise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like back to like Gary is not on the eve of fighting for a belt. Like he not. Like I checked the rank standings the other day just to see how many more fights till we see this kid fight for a belt. He 11, fam. So he.
No, I said by next year though he'll be in that all the names we're talking about. He'll be.
Well, all right, so put it this way: by next year, the winner of Alberto Puello versus whatever his name is, there'll be a WBA champion, right? Maybe Gary fights that guy, whoever wins that fight, right? But he ain't in that Taylor conversation. He not in that Regis like he not in that. Like why even entertain it? Is PBC going to send Gary to top rank? No. So what are we talking about?
Honestly, I could see Taylor either staying in the division, maybe. But again, I don't think Taylor has a point stay. He's already undisputed. He might as well move his ass up. I respect.
No. He's going to stay because the money is there, bro. Devin is coming. Tio on his way there. There's nobody for him to fight at 47. Not at top rank.
And how good is he going to do at 47? Also, I mean, I like Taylor, but I mean, is he going to be able to?
Look, we're not going to get none of those answers because all the belts is at the PBC, and it's just going to be what it's been with a different fighter. That's why it's like, yeah, you might as well stay at 40. You ain't going to get no fights at 47. With who, fam? With who?
Yeah, with the original plan.
I have a question.
The original plan was Bud for Taylor, but then
yeah,
and then I don't think Top Rank and Bud are ever going to work again after what he did to them. So
exactly, that's what I mean. And like, if you Josh Taylor, bro, I'm gonna go to 47 for what? I thought I was gonna get to fight Bud. No. So what the fuck?
How long has Bud been out? How long has Bud been out of the ring, bro?
Like a year.
Since October. It's not a year.
Few months, like 6-7 months, something like that. Few months.
And the next WBO mandatory, Paco said it. He ain't got to defend against the next WBO mandatory until 18 months from the Porter fight. So like he cooling, like they ain't gonna bother him. Yeah. So that's why it's like, bro, I'm gonna go up there for what? Ain't no fight for me up there, bro.
Errol does have a fire under his ass, man, because dude, he's got some mandatories coming up. Now that I think about it.
No, he got two. He got two killers. I
have a question.
Go ahead.
What chances do you give to Josh Taylor to win against any of those guys on the welterweight division?
I think he has a good chance because I think me included, I think the Catterall fight, I think I looked too much into it because I think Jack Catterall did win that fight. But to be real honest with you, he looked gaunt and bad, but that's not Catterall's fault. But I think Josh Taylor, if he doesn't have to cut down that extra 7 pounds, he's a big guy. He's a big guy and he's skilled and he can punch and he has some skills to him. So I think he could give anybody at 47 really a problem. But
you favor Josh Taylor against.
Let me be real with you, Leo. Right?
Taylor versus Errol Spence.
I would not like Taylor's chances against Virgil, right? Just off of feelings because it ain't off the resumes and it's not off reality. Like really, it's not even off reality because I don't feel that they're gonna fight, right? But if I just think about it, like if somebody told me, yo, Josh Taylor about to fight Virgil, instantly I favor Virgil. With Jaren, similar situation. I'm like, I could see Jaren getting him, but I don't know. I need to see the fight. And the reason I don't bother with that is it feels like I'm giving somebody credit for a fight that is not going to happen. None of that shit is going to happen. None of it. So I don't even bother with it. It's like, fam, like, in other words, if I act like Virgil would beat him, I'm going to start convincing myself that Virgil did beat him. When in reality, no, they ain't even going to fight, fam.
A good thing to think about is how would Taylor could he beat Danny Garcia?
Yes.
Because You
How
think
about
Josh
Yeah, I
Taylor
think-
would have bet at Danny Garcia?
What about
Yeah,
Keith?
absolutely.
Keith too.
Because Mauricio Herrera is not the boxer that Josh Taylor is.
Bro,
Only
Josh
reason
would
I say that is
fuck
because
Keith
we
up,
seen
man.
Danny didn't have success at 147. So I just try to look at parallels. Could Josh?
Well,
You
I'm
know.
gonna say this. These are the little things that Josh has working for him. That it helps. He's big. He's actually a bigger 140 pounder than Danny. Josh is close to 6 feet tall, whereas Danny was always a moderately sized super lightweight. He's only about 5'8", and he doesn't have long arms either. He's not a southpaw, which them southpaws is tricky. They always make everything a little bit trickier. Josh has that. Josh has good feet. I think at 147, you know, and let's see, because I don't like making bold proclamations, but because he's struggling to get down to 140, he might gain something going up to 47. They're like, oh, thank God I don't got to cut that 7 no more. So now I feel good. I feel strong. You know what I mean? That type of shit. And to be real with you, Danny's not that good, fam. Like, I don't know what everybody's fucking problem is, but he's not that good. All right.
We can say Danny's not that good, but bro, like we said earlier on the broadcast, he seems to keep beating the odds, bro. So at the end of the day,
fam, what odds are we talking about? What, he was favored to lose to Jose Benavidez?
I'm not talking about Benavidez, but I'm talking about
All right,
in
then which is
totality.
the odds that he beat? The ones from 10 years ago?
I mean, when he was at 140, that's when he was probably at his best. I'll say that.
The only time Danny beat the odds was in 2 fights almost a decade ago.
Amir Khan and Matisse.
That's literally what we talking about. Every other time, what you thought was going to happen, did happen. I know you picked Thurman to beat him because I did.
I did. I ain't gonna catch you.
No, I only said that to try to think the last 100, you know, lightweight that went up and made noise at 147.
Frank, look, we cool, bro, but Danny not good, and I need you.
No, I didn't. I'm saying I'm trying to think of Josh Taylor.
Frank, he's not that good, bro.
No, I'm not defending Danny.
I just want you, but please.
I wasn't the dude who was defending Danny. That wasn't me.
I'm not saying you was. I just want you to know that he's not that good. Can I say that?
I don't think he's that good either.
Listen, Frank, I'm gonna tell you something. It's from the bottom of my heart, right? Check the shit. If you put Danny in there with Virgil, I would pick Virgil to beat him. If you put him in there with Boots, I would pick Boots to beat him. If you put him in there with Stanionis, I would pick Stanionis to beat him. All right? Because Danny, to me, is missing something. He don't got that other gear to turn up. Like, he don't have it. He all right. Like, you good.
Yeah, I never said he did. I don't know.
Listen, listen. He don't have it, Frank.
I didn't say he did. You act like I said he did.
Wait. Can I ask this? Can I ask something?
When did I say he did?
Frank, he's just fucking with you. Frank, he's just fucking with you.
Let me ask this. Danny's guard, his nickname is Swift. His nickname is
You missed the point
right?
of the question.
I mean, his nickname is Swift, right?
I never said he did. Why are you saying I did? I never said he did.
We know. Just messing with you.
I said, what was the last 140 pounder that moved up and made noise? That's all I was asking.
Bud Crawford was 135, moved to 140.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. Yeah, that's what I said.
Frank, Danny's not as good as Crawford.
What? Like I'm defending Danny. When did I defend him?
I just needed to say that, bro. Can I say that?
That was the other dude. You putting it on me. I wasn't a Danny.
Listen, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that he's not on Crawford level. Like, bro, listen. Look, I'm keeping it real. Like, if Danny was at top rank, right? Let's say that, you know, when Danny moved up to 47, he was a top rank fighter. Danny would have retired 5 years ago because somebody beat the shit out of him already. They would have beat the shit out of him already. Like, only reason, yo,
I'm crying.
I'm being real. Like I'm being frank. I'm being honest.
When did I? Yeah,
him,
I agree.
Fam, they would have got him.
He ain't that
Frank,
good.
he's playing me. Frank, he's just playing games, bro. Don't pay no mind to him. He's just playing games.
Okay. I was just trying to make we're saying Josh Taylor moving up can be effective. I'm trying to think the last person that did that.
That would only be Terrence Crawford, like you said.
Yeah, that would
like,
be Terrence Crawford, but that's not that long ago. You know, it's the same era. You know, like we essentially talking about a move that took place a little over 4 years ago, which ain't a long time. It's not a long time. Not that long if we talking about in this era. That it's not unheard of. And he has the dimensions for it, which is it's important. Like when Danny was moving up, you could go to the Ring IQ memes page, right? And go all the way to the first memes that I ever made. I said, Danny ain't gonna win no fights up here, bro. He ain't gonna win no fights. I've been said that. And he didn't win. Like, who you beat? Brandon Rios. After everybody else beat him. Ivan Redkach. Adrian Granados. These is
great
all,
wins.
the only dudes, listen, the only dudes that Danny beat at welterweight was guys that was not true welterweights. Because Adrian Granados used to fucking campaign at 35. You know what I mean? Ivan Redkach fought Tevin Foreman at 30. At 130.
40.
Well,
That was
I mean,
40, that was 130.
Yeah, the boxing guys do that though. Like, you know, they fed Mosley a couple guys at those.
I'm
weights.
just saying that you didn't beat no true welters. Like you did, like literally, like the guys that you came up against that was true welters, that they're career welterweights. You didn't beat none of them. He can't, bro. I'm sorry, Frank.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna die on the Danny sword.
Sorry, I can't change things, Frank. Shit,
Franklin, we are so sorry.
You exposed me. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm just trying to stick up for the dude.
It's not my fault, bro. And being real, it's like, look, he at 54 now. Would I pick him to beat Castaño? No. Would I pick him to beat Fundora? No. I don't. He better stay away from Tony. Because Tony could play with him, or fam, you keep that jab. You can't touch him.
You heard what Tony was talking about? Oh, Garcia brings money to the division. I said, oh, Tony, you nasty motherfucking you.
I'm saying,
Tony
I was
went
paid to see Tony Harrison beat the shit out of him. I'm not going to lie about that.
If Tony don't knock that nigga out, I'll be so pissed off at Tony. That's like, nah, you gotta
do. But Tony could punch though. Why you think Charlo was struggling to get close to him? Because it's like, nah, it's something on them punches. Because you thinking twice. You was thinking twice in that first fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. But at the end of the day, when's the last time Tony really put a nigga down, bro? And
Wait, Chris. When's the last time Tony fought a welterweight, moving up in weight? If we go tailor the question, let's tailor the question. This ain't Perella. This ain't fucking Charlo. You know what I mean?
Perella came up from 147, bro, and Perella arguably won that fight.
Was he just coming up from 47?
I think so, actually. Real talk.
Fam,
I think
I'm gonna tell you what, Kristen. I'm gonna tell you what. Bet on Danny, bro.
Yeah, don't do that to me.
I'm just saying because you saying it without saying it. You saying it without saying it.
Watch your mouth, B. Watch your mouth, B. Don't disrespect me.
You saying it without saying it, though.
Don't disrespect me, Jules. Don't disrespect me.
You say like, yo, listen, Danny, no look hook, yo.
That's the dude that's defending Danny, not me. I wouldn't never defend him.
Frank, you got a funnier voice than Chris. You have a funny Frank. It just has a ring to it, bro.
Danny's not good, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
When did I say he was good?
I'm sorry, Frank. It's not my fault.
It ain't my fault.
But yo, I was gonna say this though, like when Tony Harrison was fighting Jermell Charlo on both those fights, he had more knockouts than Charlo. I was just wondering. I was talking to the Diggs brothers for whatever it's worth, and I was talking to them because they're both from Detroit, and he said, "Yo, Tony makes 54 easily." I said, "All right, that's great." But this guy is only getting older. I think he's like 32, 33, right?
How old is Danny, Chris?
Oh, you got to.
How old is Danny?
500. But like I was saying about yeah, for 500-year-old man, you look good against Benavidez posturing us. But I was just saying, I think Tony should move up to 160, bro. In terms of him in his punch power and probably punch resistance. Because I always maintain this: Tony Harrison's only lost to himself. He's never lost to anyone outside of himself. Like for example, he was beating Jared Hurd easily. He was beating actually Jermell Charlo twice. The second time easily too, and also he was beating Willie Nelson easily. So this just tells me, hey, this guy probably couldn't make weight like that for a long period of time,
big
bro.
for 154, bro. He big for 154 too.
Yeah, but
I think being real with you, I think he should have went up to 60 a couple of years ago. To be real with you,
I've been saying that, bro. But I also told the Diggs brothers, like, yo, bro, you around him, and he says, oh, he walks around like 171. That's great, bro. Gennady Golovkin walked around like 170, and he fought at 165. And you saw what he did to Rosado's face. You saw what he did to Lemieux. Like, he hit Lemieux so hard that like Steve Willis looked at Lemieux like, God damn. Like, bro, so this is a guy that walked around 175, bro. So at the end of the day,
you picking Danny to beat him?
No, I got Tony Harrison winning 10 to 12 rounds.
Motherfuckers gonna stop with this Danny Garcia shit, bro. Like, nah, man. Y'all gonna stop trying to sell me this cat, bro. Y'all gonna stop.
Yo, Jules, ask me that question again.
Danny is not good, Chris and Frank. All right, Frank. Danny is not it, bro.
But I'm Puerto Rican.
Danny is not it, bro. Let me read the super chat.
But I'm Puerto Rican, though.
Shout out to Ring and tonight's panel. PBC worst enemy is their own fan base. Not demanding the big fights doesn't yield big revenue, but they're okay with it. And I agree. They got a couple of fights over there that they're actually makeable fights that would yield the profit margin. Hold on, wait. I'm in the middle of a sentence.
This guy said he meant Frank.
And they don't make them. Charlo versus Benavidez, yeah, that's a cash fight. Long as you keep the operational costs low, that's a cash fight. Or Charlo versus Plant, you could put that on pay-per-view, and as long as both teams are realistic, you can turn over a profit. There's ways to do this shit. The problem is the fighters are so spoiled, and they want so much up front that unless they get it, they don't want to fucking do anything. And it's hurting the brand at the end of the day. It's hurting the brand.
Yo, right up the storm. Watch your tone of voice, bro. Right in the storm. And like, yo, there's some people in the chat talking greasy about me. Watch your tone of voice, B. It's all funny games, but chill. Nah, chill. Let me just say this. Just chill.
No, Frank, listen, Frank, Danny is no good, Frank. I'm not going.
Hey, man, he's trying to be your punching bag, but you want me to be your punching bag.
Frank, I need you to know that.
Hey,
that's
Chris.
all.
It's all good.
Yo, Jules in country. Jules in country. Let me.
He meant Frank.
Hey, I'm gonna recite it tonight. Danny is no good.
Listen, Brian Castano.
Yo, Jules, let me tell you.
Hold on.
Yo,
Brian Castano, Sebastian Fundora, even Tim Zhu, I think, could give Danny like serious problems.
Patrick Teixeira would win that fight, bro. Patrick Teixeira.
Yes.
Let's not even play them games. Yo, let me tell you a funny.
Liam Beefy Smith will fuck around, give him problems. I'm not even playing.
Real talk. Liam Smith will beat the shit out of.
He went the distance.
Let me tell you this.
Munguia, or did he go the distance?
He went the distance.
He went the distance, right? Yeah, like if he could deal with Munguia for 12. Yeah, B, he got it for Danny. Like, Danny is not. Come on, fam, let's stop. I'm tired of hearing about Danny Garcia. Frank.
Yo, Julius.
Yo, man, I'm Puerto Rican. What am I supposed to do?
Julius, let me tell you a funny story, bro. I was talking to my friend who's a big Gervonta Tank Davis fan, right? And I told him, yo, if Shakur Stevenson fights Tank, he will embarrass him, because he was he reposted something on Instagram and he said about Shakur saying, hey, Tank don't want that fight, which is telling the truth. And you know what my friend said? Oh, y'all gonna stop talking bad about Tank? And I said in the DMs to him, I think Shakur embarrasses him. And you know what my friend said? Yo, Tank would knock Shakur out. I said, what? Like, I love my friends, but like those are my, those are the PBC fan base. If you know what I mean. I love them.
Maybe if he lands.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Maybe if he lands. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna be real with you, right? When I think of Tank and an excellent pure boxer like a young Shakur Stevenson, right? I get Mayweather. Let me talk. I get Mayweather Pacquiao vibes. Like, fam, you really not what they think. Like, Manny is different, and I got a lot more respect for Manny now. than at the height of the Maypac shit. I didn't, because Pactards, Flow, all that bullshit that was going on.
That shit was annoying, bro. I think that probably
was annoying.
I think it might even be annoying than fucking this.
Real shit. But now that I'm older, yeah, I got a lot of respect for Manny, right? But I just get that vibe that I'm like, yo, fam, like you gonna get in there with a guy like this, and you gonna it's gonna show that you don't belong in here with a guy like this. You don't belong in here. Like you not that good, fam. They put you in there against scrubs and motherfuckers that really ain't that good, and motherfuckers really eat that shit up because they don't know no better. Like, fam, like, who is Rolly Romero? Who is that?
Bro, if Rolly's retarded jab was winning rounds against you and it was landing, imagine Shakur's jab, quick, fast, him dictating pace and him getting in and out. Like, and mind you, Shakur can stand in front of you, or Shakur could move use his legs. Let's really keep it above.
The main thing is that Danny Garcia is not good, Frank.
You hear that, Frank?
That's the main shit.
Man, hey, I'm Puerto Rican though. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but he's not good. Frank.
No. I don't want to hear that. You've been saying that. You've been saying that for a whole time. You have Tito Trinidad.
Bro, I'm gonna go out with Danny Garcia tatted on me.
Yeah, y'all.
Oh nah, bro. Yeah, we got Trinidad and Miguel Cotto, but you want
Let me address Don Ramon. I'm saying when all that shit was going on, right, Don, it was just real. Everybody at each other's throats. Everybody was very angry at the time, and I was very comfortable with my prediction. And Floyd gonna go in there. It's gonna be a Floyd fight. And when they fought, everybody mad. Everybody in the house. Oh, I'm like, bro, I told y'all this shit is not gonna be what y'all think it is. Like y'all thinking it's gonna be just an action fight. Nah, it's not gonna be an action fight. It's not. Like, I'm sorry. I thought that shit was gonna be World War III. No. Or right now, if you want World War III, look, it's great fights out there for Gervonta, right? I'm not even gonna lie. It's some fights out there for him that would be very entertaining, that could make him a legend. One of them fights is Lopez. The styles of the fighters would make that an epic fight. But ultimately, I'm talking about some shit that is not gonna happen. That shit is not gonna happen. So why worry about it? That shit ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna fight. So it's like, yo, they gonna keep doing what they doing with you till it backfired, just like Wilder. Cause I said that shit. I ain't trying to be that dude that always pat himself on the back, but I said, like, yo, fam, one, him and AJ, they not never gonna fight. Two, one or both of them gonna end up losing, and they ain't gonna expect it. It's gonna be when they don't expect it, because the shit you doing, this is boxing. This is not another sport. You got to do the fight when the time is now. They think you got time to wait. Boxing don't work like that. You don't have time to wait. You could lose tomorrow. You could lose your next fight. You could break a rib in sparring, go into a fight, and lose because of that fucking shit.
Look at Tio. Yeah.
Jules and Frank. I got a question for both you gentlemen. Gervonta Davis
is not good, Chris.
Gervonta Davis versus Danny. Yeah, because there's just hold on.
I'm famous now. I'm on Jules level.
Yeah. Gervonta Davis versus Danny Garcia. Gervonta Davis versus Danny Garcia. I want 54. Who wins?
I got Tank. Depends on the money line.
I got Danny in that one. You know why? I got Danny in that one. I got Danny in that one because Danny got a chin, and that's proven that the kid, he has a chin. And you went 12 with a one-legged Gamboa. You know what I mean? You went 12 with that, fam. Like, I seen that. You're not knocking out Danny, and you're not going to throw more punches than Danny, so you're going to end up getting outworked by Danny. Because he don't have a work rate. He don't have a work rate.
At all, bro. At all. Because at 130, at one point in time, he did have a work rate.
Danny Garcia versus Tank? Nah.
Too big.
The only person who could do that was Shane Mosley, and Shane Mosley was special. He's the only guy that could jump from 135 to 147 automatically. Who else can do that?
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. We really disrespected them dudes back in the day now, because now looking back at it, like, yo,
we didn't appreciate them enough.
Yeah, we did not appreciate them at all,
Mosley
bro.
was a bad dude, though. Steroids and all, I don't care.
Okay.
He's a bad dude.
Shout out to Baco, baby.
Real, like, because The ass whooping that he put on Margarito B. Oh my God.
Well, no, he jumped from 135 to fight Oscar. That was Oscar's coming out Golden Boy. Well, he was on his own, I believe, at that point.
But like Jules,
Y'all think that Tank could KO Gary Antuanne Russell?
I do.
Hell no.
I know. I think would get beat up by Gary. Yo, bro, I was meaning to tell you guys this. You can go, AJ.
Yeah, for sure. Just one sec. I mean, like this, I have a sneaking, Jules. You brought that up, the Mosley Margarito fight. I have a sneaking suspicion that like that was the fight that Margarito got caught cheating.
Well,
by Nazim, right? Then I have a sneaking
No,
suspicion
it was the Cotto fight.
Nazim told.
It was the Mosley fight. It wasn't a Cotto fight.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. The Mosley fight. My bad.
Okay,
you're right. Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, like I have a sneaking suspicion that Nazim told Shane what happened, and that's why we saw what we saw.
Possibly, yeah. Like, you was really gonna try to Miguel Cotto me in here, like, because he never got caught. It was always suspected that he had plaster Paris in the Cotto fight because of what happened in the Mosley fight. Like, oh, wait a minute, how long have you been doing this?
Yep.
That was the implication that, like, was you always doing this shit? Because he wasn't the same after the Mosley fight.
Nope.
But I don't know about Tank. See, I'm on the fence with Gary and Tank because Gary looked a little chinny. I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking at him and see if it looks.
Rancis can punch, bro. What, like, yo, that dude don't, like, come on, Rancis
Gary
can punch, bro.
He's a guy. He's not the guy.
But Tank is not the guy.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Let me say this.
Who's the guy at 135?
I was meaning Garcia, Frank. I'll tell you that fucking shit.
Yo, Jules, I was meaning to tell you guys this yesterday. I was always a Gary Russell fan. I always rock with them because I like their pops and I like how they fought and I like how they conducted themselves. But Gary Antuanne, bro, like, yo, the competition he's facing, bro, it's not weak competition, bro. He's actually beating dudes down.
Listen, he's 16-0. He's 16-0. And he's already fought 2 former champions. So my honest opinion of his quality of competition is actually good. It's good. Yeah. He fought a former champion in his 15th professional fight. That's good. He fought another one, even though he was from 35, but he fought another one in his last fight. And yeah, it was moments, but that's good. Like, and that was the second fight of this year. If they get him out there one more time, then he's on the right track. There's no reason they shouldn't get him another fight this year. You know, they should because there's time.
He get another undercard fight. That's it.
No, Gary's a Sharmba Mitchell type of dude. He'll be there. He'll be a player.
Bro,
he's not, bro. That's a wild disrespectful, B.
To who? Sharmba or Gary?
Frank,
to Gary.
Garcia ain't it, Frank? All right.
Well, hey, he's the president of Danny's fan club.
I told you I got Danny Garcia's posters all around my room. You can't make me change my mind.
Yeah, like he's not.
He is the president of Danny's fan club.
But you want to join?
He's not it, bro. But being real, it's that. Look, the Tank is one of them dudes that when it happens, it's all gonna come down and it's all gonna unravel because it's crazy that people really lying to themselves at this point that y'all seen him losing rounds to somebody like Rolly and it don't register. Like, fam, you're not supposed to lose a round to a Rolly. A round.
Yeah, he's a kid on the short bus. What are you doing?
Like, you literally, you not know. It's not cap. It's not cap. It's not me being knee jerk or none of that. It's like, fam, if you really are what they say you are, you're not supposed to lose one round to a dude like this. You're not. But you did, though. And they could dress it up however they like. That dude lost at least 3 of them rounds to Rolly.
I count 4.
You're not supposed to lose rounds to somebody like that, bro.
Okay,
nice.
I have a question to make about Caleb Plant.
Go ahead.
Okay, after the Canelo
I
fight,
agree.
I have a good opinion about Caleb Plant, but I think Caleb Plant is not gonna come back to the ring anytime soon, because I have the feeling that this guy is gonna be asking for crazy money.
You talking about? That's possible. That is possible. I mean, look, the plan is supposed to be Anthony Durrell, feel me? That's what they're saying, but we see that plans change. The plan was Benavidez versus Morrell, right? And now that's not happening. So yeah, plans could change, bro. He might be like, yo, I'm not getting out there for anything under $5 million because I just made 10. I'm a $10 million fighter.
Well, he think he on the cusp of Hall of Fame, so why not?
And
he on the cusp of Hall of Fame, Jules. Tell me I'm wrong.
Jules, say it again, please. Jules, say it again.
Caleb Plant said he on the cusp of Hall of Fame. So
yo, how could he think that with Uskateki and Mike Lee?
He got a baddie in his corner, right?
I'm like, nah. I mean, she bad. I ain't even gonna hold him. Like, she is bad, but
she the one to tell him.
But it's like, fam, like, if you just, the other thing is common sense. You just made $10 million, right? And assuming that you got most of that money, let's just assume that he got the better portion of that money. You're not going to be in a hurry to get back out there because you got plenty of money. You could chill if you want to. And most of them guys on that side, they do choose to chill. That's what they do. They make a little bit of money and then they go somewhere for a while. You know
that's what you've been saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
My question would be for Anthony Durrell. What is he thinking going against Caleb Plant?
I don't even know what he fighting for no more. Like, bro, why you out here? Go sell coke.
He got to win. You think he gonna beat Caleb Plant?
Go sell coke.
Why do you always want somebody to sell narcotics, bro? They just go to jail for that. Like, you not see this man skin. You not see this
boxing is the barber
color?
shop. What you think happened in boxing gyms?
Hey
Just
man,
being real, like yo, look, I take that money. I start a dummy promotional company.
What
right?
you think happened in boxing gyms?
Listen. I start a dummy promotional company, right? I buy an
Like
old building, don't nobody know about. I fudge the books, right? I pretend I'm having boxing matches. Whole time I'm laundering coke money.
Hey, I done seen hella bads come in and out of boxing gyms. It ain't nothing new.
By the way, rest in peace, Bill Russell and Nichelle Nichols, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
What Nichols?
Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle Uhura, Star Wars. Star Trek.
Lieutenant Uhuru.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. to her.
Hey, another good fella though.
I was gonna say something about Uhura, but I ain't even gonna say it because it's TMI.
Hey, another Hoover gone too.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Another good fella.
Jules, you a sick nigga. You a sick ass nigga.
Bro, we all men on this panel, bro. We
wearing that red mini skirt, sitting in that chair, Captain. I'm fine as shit. Ooh.
Hey,
ooh.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, like my first like TV crushes, right? It was Uhura, that was one. It was fucking Cootie.
Mine was Christy Brinkley.
Yo, you know what this shit was?
No, it was Crawford, whatever her name was. Crawford.
Cindy Crawford.
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford was the joint when she was the joint. I ain't even going front. It was fucking Uhura. For me, it was Uhura, Tootie, the bitch on that same show that used to wear the
nigga said Tootie.
Tootie.
With the braces?
Yeah.
Yo, you got a librarian fetish, homie.
And Pam Grier. If you didn't like Pam Grier, I don't know, B. What's not to like, fam?
I like Joe though. Joe was bad.
Who?
Joe.
Joe with the leather jacket.
Yeah. She was a DZ, but hey, she was bad.
There you have the ass of life. The ass does.
Hey man, if Jules was
Can I
truly
say
sick,
this?
he would have said
In
something
the
like
club,
Esterol, man. So he ain't that sick.
Yo, come on, bro. Trust me, you can't say that.
There you have the ass of life. The ass and thighs. Is that shit, bro?
Yo, bro, before we get off this panel, bro, if anyone who did not like Pam Grier, you're a leper and you deserve to be ostracized.
Bro, like, what's not the life, man?
But I didn't know her after though. Till I'm sorry, I just didn't.
No, I know because you young. Like, how old are you on Frank?
I'm 36, bro.
You not 36, my guy.
No.
What?
You not 36. I got your birth certificate.
Okay, well, show it. I'm in Puerto Rico with Danny.
This nigga didn't say that. He just said that. Oh shit! I'm crying. This nigga said y'all got your fucking birth certificate.
legit though. I came with Danny.
That's Danny Garcia.
Nigga really put
Danny
out a piece of
Garcia ain't
paper.
it, bro.
Yeah, we
really put
family,
out a
bro.
piece
You didn't know?
of
We came. We swam.
No, but on
Y'all know
some real
what?
shit.
Y'all know what?
Nah, I really thought Frank was young. Like, not even on no shit. I thought you was young. Like not young, but I thought like maybe 29.
Bro, people be saying that though, because I just look like that.
I dig it.
Nigga, you have a young sounding voice, bro. But this nigga said he had your fucking.
Because I'm from the Bay, bro. We talk like that.
I don't know how does Danny Garcia talk. It's giving me an idea. Next time I check into a hotel, I'm using Danny Garcia as an alias.
Hey,
Sir, what's your name? Danny
no.
Garcia.
Bro, even as far as like Spanish dude names, that's like the John Smith. Of
It really is.
Danny Garcia.
Oh shit!
Listen, not Danny Figueroa, not Danny Fernandez, not Danny Gonzalez, Danny Garcia. Shit.
This nigga said he has his fucking birth certificate in his hand. He picks up a crumpled piece of fucking paper. Yo, this is a nasty nigga we dealing with it. We dealing with some fiction over here. Yo, we're fucking with Ring IQ boxing talks. Nobody, nigga. You hear me? Unfuckwittable.
Because I rock with Danny, that's why.
Frank.
Nah, bro. This nigga said he had your fucking death certificate. This is the craziest shit. I can't even get off this shit. Yo, bro, this nigga.
Hey, because I sent that to him to tell him I'm official.
But listen,
but why he come up with that, bro? Like, yo,
Could I ask Frank? Frank, could I ask you something? Frank,
go ahead, man. You can ask me anything. As long as it's about Danny, though.
It's about Danny. Yeah, as the unofficial president of the Danny Garcia fan club, do bad fade haircuts come with those?
Man, you know what, man? It's just a culture thing. You know.
No, I got a real question.
We gotta look like we in a band.
Is the haircut that Danny get? Because I know like Errol got the Texas shag. He used to rock that. Like, no, I'm being dead serious.
Nigga, so nasty.
Because listen, I know like Danny is the only dude I see that only get his sideburns faded. It's only this part. He don't do that. Is that like a Philly type thing?
Nah, that's what the gang dudes do here on the West Coast. The LA dudes, they be getting that like Larry Moe curly look.
LA, though.
I'm just telling you, it's like travel. It's over here. We get the Larry Moe curly.
Hey, Frank.
Nigga, you from the Bay, nigga. You from Northern California, nigga. You not.
But we ain't all got that Danny hair. You know what I'm saying? Some of us Latinos, we got the stringy hair. We got the wavy hair.
Hey, Frank, what part of the Bay you from, homeboy?
I'm from the SFO, man.
Oh, okay. San Francisco.
San Francisco. You know, that northern part of the Cali.
What neighborhood you from, man?
From the hood, from Fairfield. I'm from Fairfield. I say SCO because I'm really from Fairfield, but don't know.
Next to Fairfield.
You don't know Fairfield, Vacaville. Shut up. It's like I don't know where you from. Like, man.
I'm from the Excelsior in the city, bro.
Oh, you're from the city.
Yeah.
Okay. I say the Bay. I'm Frank by the Bay, right? So I'm from Fairfield, which is like
Fairfield's
a 30 minutes.
In the park. In Vacaville, man.
Nigga said it's a nasty nigga, bro. Yo, bro, he's dealing with trolls. He said, yo, I got a nigga birth certificate. He's telling this nigga. He nigga said he's from a place that he's not even from, bro. He never even probably stepped foot in California.
I've been out there. SFO.
Nigga said SFO.
But have you been to Sacramento, though? It's in between San Francisco and Sacramento. That's where it's at. In between San Francisco and Sacramento.
Where Fairfield is, bro.
Okay, yeah, you know, Square Field, the fields. It get real out there.
All right, y'all get together and have tea
next to the store.
We don't bang blood and cuz. It's more like Norte, Sereno. I don't know if y'all have that out there.
Yo, bro, y'all gotta wait. Y'all gotta wait for Julius when he get to that like straight face, just to think about the bullshit he about to say. Nigga really think we don't
I
get
got a
this
Wanna
nigga.
Creeker in here. All right, that's off. That's East Bay. You know, we North Bay up here.
Shit. This nigga Jules is sick.
Well, yeah, E40 from the Valley Joe.
Leo, you still here? Add something, bro. We need you to say something.
Yeah, Leo.
Mac Dre, y'all know who Mac Dre is?
Y'all know Mac.
R.I.P. to
Mac Dreezy. Yeah, 707, baby. That's what we rock out here.
Yo, stop it. Why he get killed in Kansas though?
Hey, it's some gang shit, I guess. He owed somebody. Somebody
he
owed
was
him.
in a van with some dude, and it had something to do with
Yeah,
drugs. And got shot.
he was with the Jay Diggs. There's a whole thing. YouTube it, man. Jay Diggs. That was his homie. He tells the whole story, man.
It's Tay Diggs, man.
Jay Diggs, you nasty bastard.
Yo, what Diggs you talking about?
This is a sick nigga, bro. I'm
Hey,
telling
you really know,
every
Jules, you know who
time-
Mac Dre is? Hey, you be slapping Mac Dre, though? You got bars. You really know who Mac Dre is?
Nah, I'm gonna be real. It was the only reason I know who Mac Dre is.
You
right
said
now.
E40, so I thought you knew.
Hold on. Now I know E40. I know E40, but Mac Dre. Only reason I even know who that is because of beats. I never heard like a single song from that person, but beats. I remember I had beats and shit. It would say Mac and Dre on it. Other than that,
okay.
I wasn't really because I gave up on hip hop a long time ago. So
I don't blame you. You know what my OG said about hip hop, bro? Hip hop is like, Arrested Development. So basically what he said is, hip hop comes from, trauma, a lot of, bad things, because hip hop comes from the hood, and hood is rife with trauma. So that's what he said. But he said, like, yo, bro, the older he's gotten, from a lot of the lyrics that he's heard and a lot of the things that were in some of the music videos, hip hop is just like, like the lowest form of music in the sense of like messaging and shit like that. Because
same with boxing, though. That's the same with boxing.
Same with boxing, dude. Yeah, I mean, Chris, it's funny you say that because like David Allen Greer summed this up best like on his show like a long time ago. He said, "We're at a point like when did Fight the Power become wait till you see my dick?"
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact, bro.
Yo, mystical, bro.
But you gotta.
Oh yeah, I see that. When it's smoke is fire, it's fourth, my nigga. They said it was kind of. I think I counted 4 times, bro. But like, think about it.
It's 4 counts of rape.
No. I think it's fourth time. I think it's 4th time of being accused, 3rd or 4th. But think about it, Jules. This guy said, "I came in here with my dick in my head." Like, you gotta remember. Yeah, be cool.
Hey, yeah, he was aggressive as hell, though. He was like the first aggressive.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you.
He was DMX before DMX.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Wait, I thought Mystical. He was coming out. Mystical was hella aggressive.
But
but I ain't gonna hold you.
No, this the shit. Mystical was like around. It's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was on them like,
but not before though. He was like in
he was under No Limit with Master P, and Master P was pumping out that.
And he was around, but it's like he didn't blow till Shake Your Ass. Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was hella aggressive though.
That's when he blew up.
Yeah, like he was another Silk the Shocker to me. Like, bro, why you sound like that? Out of all the shit you could do over this beat, that's the shit you gonna do. See, I couldn't that shit.
I'll tell you one rapper. Y'all might disagree. I'll tell you one rapper I couldn't stand. Ja Rule. He just got on my nerves.
Nah, Benny Vici was alright, bro.
That was murder beat.
Most times he really annoyed me just with how he sounded.
It's after Benny Vici that he started getting that on that singing shit.
But you can't get mad, bro, because
bro, you ain't no singer.
I'm not mad, but I ain't gonna listen to that shit.
I mean, his song
I can't listen to someone who yell at me, bro. If you just yell at me every song, I can't feel that.
Jules, I gotta ask you a question. Who had the best verse on It's Murder? X, J, or Ja? I ain't gonna hold you. Everyone smoked it, but I ain't gonna hold you. I think X. Like, if they ain't gonna put a plug on you, I'm up there myself and put a couple slugs on you. It's Murder.
He was hot at the time, so you perceive it that way. To me, it was Jay. He was hot at the. It's a momentary. He was hot at the time, so you waiting for the X verse if you know he on the track.
Not bar for bar though, but like I'm talking bar for bar from Caxsackie to Folsom. I'm lonesome. I say fuck the world and I throw some. I know Jay bodied that. I ain't gonna hold you, but like John bodied it too. And ain't nothing but love between me, you, and these slugs. But nah, what X said. I see you in a coma. He ain't coming about that. And if they don't pull the plug on you, I'm up in your room myself and dump another slug on you. It's Murder. Come on, bro. He smoked all of them. He smoked all them dudes, bro.
Listen, Frank, Danny ain't it.
You feel
Man,
me?
but guess who is? Ja Rule. He told me Ja Rule is the dude. Cause I'm on the West Coast. We don't mess with none of that. It's West Side till we die. It was.
Listen, I was waiting to tell Frank that shit for 10 minutes.
Hey, we on the West Side. We don't mess with that New York stuff, man. You know what it was.
I'm glad New York was my shit.
West Side till we die.
It was.
West Side. What did Pac say? Yeah.
You know Tupac from Harlem, right? So like at the end of the day, your whole West Coast identity come from the East Coast, dude. How y'all feel about that, though? How y'all
It's
feel,
West
huh?
Side. That's what Pac said. That's what we do.
He's from New York. He only moved out of New York because we shot at him. Sorry about that, Pac.
Hey.
Y'all know something?
Hey,
Like,
Pac is a legend, though. Where those other dudes at? It's what he said. If Pac had existed, these dudes wouldn't be around. That's basically what Illuminati was.
It's
I don't know something. I never understood
I'm
the
going
whole
there.
like West Coast,
Right?
East Coast rivalry. I never understood.
No,
it. Like, why don't y'all just make songs?
No, because
Like,
Tupac was trying to expose everybody. He was about to go there.
Listen, being real.
I feel you, but
no, being real, like it wasn't. People took it that way, that it was East Coast and West Coast. People took it that way because they're tribal. You know what I mean? They knew Snoop and from the West, but it was never like, bro. It wasn't a thing where like motherfuckers is fly. Like it wasn't like for real. And more importantly, that was really just. It's like I understand when you heard Pac tell a story of how he got shot. I would have thought the same thing. Like, yo, this dude's got me shot. Because I remember a part of the story was that he said that Biggie called him into the building. He goes into the building, and I think they tried to get him on the elevator, and that's where they shot him or something. And I'd have looked at it that way too.
Well,
the
thing was they was up in the studio and they told him to come up, and when he went to the elevator, they were waiting in the hallway and got his ass in the hallway.
But don't that sound like a setup? They're like, fuck around, it wasn't even big. Fuck around, it wasn't him. But
yo, it wasn't even Big's man's though. It was like it was some other, hungry niggas. And mind you, Pac pulled out his gun.
No, it went deeper than that.
And
Pac
he shot
had said
himself
that.
too.
Pac said he was violated, and he wondered why Biggie didn't do something about that. That's fine.
But yo, at the end of the day, if you fucking
dude, there's like 500 documentaries on that, and I've been through all of them.
This is what they said, bro. This is what they said. Pac owed somebody from a gambling debt, and Pac was ass betting, and dudes wasn't playing. And the dudes that he was ass betting was some real Haitian niggas named
it was
Jimmy
a Supreme
Henchman.
dude. That's what the movie was about.
No, it was Jimmy Henchman. It was.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Haitian Jack. Haitian Jack didn't get caught for that, and it wasn't him. It was actually Jimmy Henchman that he ass bet, and he didn't pay him his bread, and dudes came for that. I ain't gonna hold you. Like your dog, you can say whatever you want about Jimmy Henchman, but he was about that money. He was about that action. You can't play with a nigga and think it's a game.
Well,
you can't play. You can't play.
Wrong crowd, bro.
Well, also like Pac is a little bit of a mystery to me because he's a Juilliard trained actor. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
you talking about the plant videos? A dude put out hella plant videos. He's an industry plant.
Not that he's an industry plant per se, but it's more like he. When I was young, I couldn't see it, but now I can. They're like, yo, a lot of the time you was hamming it up. Not to say that you weren't, really doing things and things like that, but it's sort of like you became the character that you portrayed because it started becoming obvious to me that like, yeah, you be hamming it up, but you became that, and that got you killed. Basically, whereas Big was always big, and I'm more of a Pac fan, by the way, but Big was always big. Big wasn't nothing else, he was just big. You know what I mean? Pac wasn't always that, from the Digital Underground days. Like, nah, you wasn't always.
Yeah, nah, he was.
But you have to understand this, bro. Like this guy was a Black Panther, so you had to, do a whole bunch of.
And listen, man, like I said, Pac was an actor. He's an actor.
I feel you.
He's an actor.
Yo, not to Biggie. Y'all hear that song from that dude from Mississippi? He said, "Yo, I made Juicy first."
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
So what do y'all think about the flow? Yeah, what do you think about that flow, and what do you think about the that song though? Because I ain't gonna hold you.
I think he ain't gonna get no fucking money off that shit.
Is he still alive? Is that dude alive? Is he like?
He still is. Yo, because my OG said
he was Notorious B. Like he really was. He said it's Notorious P or B, something like that.
Man,
Notorious B1.
Could I ask y'all something right quick? It's just this has been on my mind for a long. This has been on my mind for a long time. This is an open question to everybody. Like after music artists pass away, right? Do you think that music should be released afterwards, or should it just be left alone? Like,
it should be up to the artist's wishes.
The estate should I've always felt the estate should automatically go to the next of kin and let them decide what to do with the work.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I felt like if they didn't release the music, it was always for a reason. That shit's not finished. It wasn't up to their standard.
Yeah.
So don't release it. It wasn't meant for us.
I mean, because like, honestly, everything that's come out like Tupac, like everything else, like this about like you have their. I mean, like it's like I think Tupac released a couple. One of them Eminem produced, and like he co-starred.
Nah, that is weak, dude.
Let me say this. The stuff that got released, I don't know how it sounds to other people, but it always sounded to me like unfinished work. Like you laid down a track, but this wasn't the best track, or this wasn't the best verse, or this is naked and there's no ad libs, or things are missing. All that stuff that got released after Pac died, a lot of that shit, you could tell it wasn't his best shit. Like you could tell, like
it was different.
I'm gonna tell you, when Pac died, they released like 7 Machiavellis. They was all at the swap meet. Everybody was buying all these Machiavelli tapes, and it was like these studio productions. He has one with DJ Quick called Tonight. No, it's late night. That shit is popping, bro. The original.
Yo, bro, I heard that song with it was him. Who was the guy who it wasn't Sugar Free? It was him, AMG, and Pac. That shit was fire. But like at the end of the day, there's certain people, like for example, Quick can get that out of Pac because Quick is an elite level talent in terms of production and engineering. Not everyone else can do that. And also, Pac was a very prodigious writer, so he would write a lot of things on the spot and go on beat and just make songs after songs after songs. That's why he had so much catalog.
Yep, Too Short. All these dudes said, man, he just was in the studio 24/7 because he thought he was going to die. He was on MTV with that shit.
But yo, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. For a nigga who thought
Machiavelli to Dawn, there was like 7 CDs. They were everywhere.
Yeah, bro. For a dude who thought was gonna die, bro, he got around. He like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. They said he fucked Karen Parsons from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They said he was outside, bro. Like they say he was fucking everything. Like
shit.
I mean, shit. If you gonna die, you might get some pussy.
I feel you, Jules. But think about it. Karen Parsons from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How many dudes would have thought like, hey, Pac, the roughneck, was gonna get to her though?
Wait, you talking about Hillary?
Yeah, Hillary.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro.
Well, let me say this: the only one that really like that, I was like, the only joint that I seen that's better than Hillary, or at least in that time of life or whatever, Jasmine Guy. Oh my God.
Nah, I'm choosing Hillary.
Dwayne.
I'm choosing Hillary because Hillary.
She Creole, bro.
Wasn't
from like Louisiana.
Wait, wasn't Jasmine Guy Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay.
Jasmine Guy. It's different, man.
Hillary
that's
was
shit, yo. Jasmine. Oh my God, Jasmine Guy. Those was. Like those was the red bone joints that I was in love with. Hillary, Jasmine Guy, and Vanity. Oh my God.
Oh, Vanity! You talking about Vanity 6?
Vanity, man, for fuck, we got the glow.
Yeah, that's Vanity 6. She worked with Prince.
Where does 6 come from? Is a 6 in the shit?
No, she was an artist.
Yeah, she was
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Jules, I'm gonna bust it down for you. A battered chick.
Dash. Oh my God.
Apollonia. Look at Apollonia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was hot too.
You know Apollonia?
I know Apollonia.
Okay, she took over for Vanity.
She was in Prince's movie.
Vanity is a preacher now, bro. How you like her?
Fam, she's dead now, fam. She is dead now, fam.
She's a preacher.
Oh, she fucking died, bro.
Yeah, she died.
You can't after she's a preacher now, bro. She be preaching. I thought she got on that tip.
Yo, Jasmine Cashmere's a preacher. Jasmine Cashmere's a preacher. I lust after her all the time. Fuck you, mean?
Only the old heads gonna know Ray Dawn Chung.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Commando.
I remember.
Commando.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she in? Where was she in?
Fucking that shit where she turned into a gargoyle after the dude shagged, and she came back and killed him.
That's
Well,
crazy.
matter
I
of
remember
fact,
from Commando.
She told him, listen, don't tell nobody what you seen when she was a gargoyle, right? And then he met the girl, shagged the girl. They had kids, right? Bang. And then he told her what he saw. And then she started crying. She's like, I told you not to tell nobody. That's when he realized she was the gargoyle. You ain't see that shit?
That's crazy. Yo,
Hey,
yo,
hey, I'm gonna say something right now though.
Stop snitching.
Hey, don't we wish
Stop.
sex tapes were around now? Imagine we had them sex tapes. That shit would be
No.
fire.
Hey,
Hey, somebody got something, bro.
Louis Puente says this turned into a high school jerk list.
Oh shit! Oh shit, bro! Y'all niggas is killing me right now, bro. Holy shit!
That motherfucker just walked down memory lane, B. Like,
Yo, Louis, yo, you have no right to talk. You said Danny Garcia is a first Hall of Fame first ballot. Stop it.
That's a troll comment.
Nah, but those
Jules, I know what you about
matter
to
of
say.
fact, the joint from Golden Child.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
Golden Child, Eddie
Yep,
Murphy.
okay.
That was a bad joint.
Oh wait. You know what?
Hey,
y'all remember
Selma Hayek now, man. She was hot too.
Hey, no
Yeah,
love
Selma
for
Hayek is Jules.
Jules. No love for Alyssa Milano. Like, what's up?
No,
I ain't got no love for
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like,
I want to switch the scene.
it's not that. It's that like the pink joints. It was just never really my speed. To be real with you. Like,
Oh, okay.
Did you ever happen to see?
So you don't like white women? So you don't like white women?
It's not because that's too broad a statement to say. If you say that, that's like saying that you can't appreciate the beauty when it's more like you could think somebody look good and they could look good, but that's not your
What
shit.
about
Like,
Punky Brewster?
Nope.
Hey, she.
When I was a kid, yeah. When I was a kid, yeah.
Winnie Cooper.
Julius,
Winnie
you know
Cooper.
who's
No love for Winnie.
Julius, you know who was the baddest for me? Marissa Tomei. She was super bad. Like super bad, bro.
That's
Like
different.
she's super bad, bro.
Yeah.
She was that one, bro. I was like, damn, I never seen a pretty white girl like that in my life. I was like, damn, she's fun.
Ric Flair, woo!
Yeah, that's different. Like Marissa Tomei was timeless. My cousin Vinny, she was on she was on a different world too. The first season, I think.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby gave her a start. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Like fire, bro.
I ain't go. We can't bring up this list without Lisa Bonet. We can't do this.
Yep, of course.
Nope.
Of course.
Nope.
We gotta
of
bring.
course. We can't.
And like, hey, but y'all remember Kickboxer, that Asian joint that was in love with Jean-Claude?
My leaf fat good.
Hey, Tia Carrera. Hey, I'm gonna bring Tia Carrera. Carrera.
I should have been laughing at that.
Oh shit! You said when you said Golden Child, I thought Golden Girl.
Oh,
that was Ray Armstrong, man. In Quest for
Travel
Fire.
down the road, back
Guys, I have a question. What is the controversy about J-Lo and Ben Affleck?
Nothing, bro.
No,
Ben Affleck.
I think they got married. Didn't they get married?
That's it.
Yeah, they remarried, bro. Because you remember when Ben Affleck gave her one of them, like, plastic rings? It was all over the news. I remember back in 2004, bro.
That was the
Chris,
memes. They were saying,
you know what did it?
how many rings Cowboys?
When they did the movie Geely. Remember the movie Geely? That's what caused the end of the relationship.
Ben Askren, right?
Yeah.
Ben Askren, no. Oh shit.
Hey, I told somebody, I said Jennifer was on the play. She was using Alex to get the team. It didn't work out. She was like, peace.
No, I'm gonna be real with you. And a lot of people don't agree with me when it comes to this, but I never thought she was all that.
Hey, I don't disagree.
You from uptown, so you seen mad Jennifer.
That's an average. I say it all the time. That's the average.
Okay, Selena or J-Lo?
Selena any
Come
day.
on, bro.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Hey, I'm just saying J-Lo was a fly girl. She was a fly girl, though. Come on. We can't just diss her like that.
Listen, man. Selma Hayek over J-Lo.
Hey, her daughter is better.
Selena over
J-Lo.
J-Lo. Penelope Cruz over J-Lo.
Wow.
I'm not done. Eva Mendes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The face in the face. Yeah.
Right? Like
Eva Longoria over J.
I mean,
J-Lo.
to me, it's like I don't mean to sound messed up, but like she just never had. To me, she just never had much talent. Like she's an okay.
She was a fly girl.
It's not the talent. It's that they was bugging out. They was bugging out because she had a fat old ass, and I'm like, fam.
I'm like, that shit ain't even that big.
I'm like, just go to Grand Concourse. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Get off. Go to Grand Concourse.
I'm like, people tripping over that. It ain't even that big, man.
Wasn't she a dancer on Living Color?
Yeah,
that's what I just said. She's a fly girl.
Yeah, Julius, but no, Julius, who wants to take the one all the way up to Grand Concourse? Who
Not
wants to
even
take the
the one.
Hey, Jules, I got one.
Not the one. You gonna end up in Woodhaven. You gotta take the D train. Go
Paula Abdul.
Nah, I ain't going front. Paula Abdul. Yeah,
she was a Laker girl. Hey, she was banging younger dudes when she was on the show. She was happening.
She got busted for that one dude.
Yeah, she.
I was
man.
Oh, freak ass bitch.
Bro, she a cougar, y'all. She a cougar, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong.
She's a for real cougar.
Ain't nothing wrong with that shit.
Oh, freak bitch. Yo, freak bitch. I meant your predator, nigga. I meant your whole predator. Fucking wrong with you niggas, man.
Because it's not the same. If you was 16,
you want that. You want that to happen.
People call you inside to drink some lemonade. Be like,
I feel you.
Hey, but who telling though? Like, why would you tell? That's what always took me out.
Yo, bro. Me and my brother. Yo, I go home. Me and my brother always said that shit. Like, yo, bro, you got pussy. Like, my nigga. Like, let's keep it a buck. You got raped. Like, you got raped. Man, but you wanted to get raped. So why you snitching? Like, come on, man. Keep it. Yeah, come on.
Drilling them old fucking 40-year-old ass cheeks.
Hey, Luke, says, dog, I just got in trouble at work laughing my ass off uncontrollably.
Oh, shit.
The real shit is not the same thing. Like, fam, like everybody had a teacher that used to want to shag.
Hell yeah.
Bro, like, y'all, like, when I was in high school, like, I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore, like, I was a sophomore, like, my math teacher, bro, she was in her early 20s. God,
you didn't do nothing
so bad. I
had a teacher that was studying to be a lawyer. She's young joint, like how you just described, 20s.
Hey, I got a question for all you guys. Am I the only one who feels ripped off because all the teachers nowadays are sleeping with students, and back in our day they did?
Hell yeah!
That shit is listen, I felt that shit. Listen, that shit still hurts, bro.
Bro, why was when I was in school?
Yo, that shit is not right, B. It's not right.
Hey, I used to look at Carol Brady. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hot, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey.
Who else?
Because Mike was gay anyway, so.
Nah, Peggy Bundy, yo.
Oh hell yeah! Al was dissing it. Al was like, "I don't want it." I'm like, "I'll take it."
Yeah, I don't know where Al like, fam.
Well, he had it for 20 years, Jules.
Right up. You right though. It couldn't have been me. She'd have been on that couch.
Hey, she was married to Steven Seagal, right? Katie Seagal.
No. They're not related.
No, she was married to Peggy Bundy. I thought Peggy was married to.
The names are spelled different. The names are spelled different.
Al did have his moments where he got some from her, though.
Yeah, but like, nah, B, it couldn't, like, it just couldn't have been me, dog, because I'd have been all in them red hairs, all in that shit.
Hey, she always wanted it though. She was always wanting it. I was like, damn, okay.
And all in her small intestine, yo.
Only I can prevent forest fires.
Yo, you a sick nigga, bro. That's why I fuck with Jules. Jules is
a small intestine, son.
Jules put it in her butt on some.
Honestly, like,
you would have got it.
Jules, you mentioned Lisa Bonet earlier. It's like that's why I like Zoe so much. She looked like a mom. She looked like a mom.
Yo, B, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Zoe better than Lisa.
I swear to God, she is. I swear to God. I swear to God, nigga.
She looked like a mom and then some. That's what she looked like. Like, for real.
She made
Batman watchable. He made Batman watchable.
Yo, I only watched that shit
Because of her, really.
I don't give a fuck about no emotional ass Batman.
I mean, like Jules, you said it best. Like,
like,
how could you like, and like, how could you, Jules? You said it best. How could you like not fuck her throughout the whole film?
That's
like,
the weird shit. That like you got a whole movie, you got a whole feature film, and Batman don't even try to squeeze her ass. I'm like, this shit fake, B. Couldn't be
Fake as a motherfucker, bro.
Like you said, Gotham can wait. Gotham can wait. Gotham
like Riddler would have been sitting there writing shit the whole movie. Like, where is Batman?
Breathing hella hard.
So why I said it best, Batman was tuck.
Nigga Jules.
It's under construction. Come back later.
Riddler would have been like, where the fuck is Batman? He coming out with all these riddles and shit. Where's Batman?
Meanwhile, the Joker's going on wild and shit.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man,
No, it.
Watch Batman.
Where's Batman?
Warner Bros. If you listening, if Zoe ain't in the sequel, I'm not interested.
Yeah, save it. Where's Batman? Oh, man. Yo, where's Batman? It's hilarious.
They gonna show Riddler in the shit. Mad than the motherfucker. He came up with all these riddles. Ain't nobody solving them shit. Where's Batman? She showed him motherfucking her guts.
He stalking her shit. He put a hand off her mouth like, shut up, bitch, you balling.
But hey, motherfucker trying to interrupt him. He hits him with the utility belt.
Smack the cat out the way.
And it goes right back to business.
Oh shit! Oh shit! This nigga's stupid. Oh my god!
That shit.
Oh man,
that shit could have been me, dog. Like, yo, I don't got time to be solving these fucking crimes.
Commissioner Gordon, turn on the bat signal.
Yo, he didn't see me in front of the bat
signal. Turn on the bat signal. He's been gone 2 days.
Yeah, I like Big Man's suggestion. He says he take a listen.
He turn on the bat signal. Yo, what y'all doing up there? What you doing up there, yo? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Throw a batarang at his ass. Get the fuck out of here.
That ain't the bat signal.
Yo, what is that in the sky?
Look, it's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. Oh, no.
Get the boner.
Oh shit, yo. Oh shit. Hey man, on that note, it's time to get out of here, B.
Yeah, it's time to go to sleep, bro. Good talking to you.
Wait, Jules, before you go. Frank, Danny Garcia ain't shit. All right.
Real.
I love Danny, okay?
Oh shit, yo. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, no.